Hello, everyone. Oh, shit. You know what? I forgot to actually look at this. Holy shit. Hmm. How's everybody doing today? Sorry, trying to figure out how to do something. And failing. And failing as normal. Trying not to screw anything up during the live, you know? Let's try it out, though. Let's see. What do you guys think about that? For you 34 people in my landscape right now, I need you guys to tell me what you think about that. I'm not really sure. I don't dislike it. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that same thing. A little hard to see because it kind of blends in with the background, right? What about that one? I'm still not sure I love it, but it's a lot. It pops a lot more, right? Worse? Yeah, you're right. I think it's more of the font thing. Interesting. All right. Well, I got to try it out. I have to try it out. Hey, you guys, all I did was ask people in my chat to hook me up. And that's what some people said, okay? If y'all have some better skills, all right? If y'all have some better skills when it comes to creating something I can replace this with, then please hook it up cuz I don't know what I'm doing. Cuz I don't know what I'm doing. All right? Sorry for you guys in the other part of the live which I guess I can just show you guys. I'm looking for a replacement for for my words here. I'm looking for a replacement. So this was just something that somebody had sent in. I feel like it's a little hard to read on the live. But I want some cool like letters and some cool stuff out there. So I'm yeah, just looking for some ideas. So don't quite like that one, but hey, we're playing around a bit. All right, we're getting there. Yeah, kind of hard to read from there, but that's okay. Like I said, y'all. No, instead I should do a green screen background. No. No, I did a green screen background a long time ago, and in no way, shape, or form am I going back. Yeah, it's a little hard to read. But again, I don't know how to make any of this stuff. Okay. I enlisted the help of some people out there with you guys. And so you guys say it's harder to read than it's not there. I just want something a little bit more fun. I want something a little more exciting. I want something with a little more pizzazz. It doesn't have to be super pizzazzy. That might have been a little bit too pizzazzy. You know? It might have been a little too pizzazzy. We just want a little more pizzazz. But I do want to thank Jaren. Jaren, if you're out there, thank you so much for creating those for me. I don't think it's quite what we're looking for, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it's not that it's bad. It's just I just want something a little bit more, a little brighter, a little brighter. This is fine, but I just want a little something a little more fun. You know? So that's what I'm thinking so far. But anyways, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I know I took like a surprise day off yesterday. Honestly, I was just like not in it. So, yeah. But that's okay. We're gonna get this font figured out. We'll get it figured out. It'll show up eventually. We'll get it. I have a couple other people that are gonna work on it. I'm sure Jaren might be also love to help on it. Thank you, Jen and Rosa. No, I don't think I don't think I'm gonna switch on Twitch today. Twitch is frustrating. He's frustrating me. You need an outlet cover. Then how would you see my outlet? If I covered it up, how could you see it? Seems like a waste to me. Seems like a waste of a perfectly good outlet. Seems like a waste. No, I'm doing some remodeling in here, so everything is kind of we're changing fonts, we're changing colors, we're changing backgrounds, we're changing all sorts of stuff today. Everything's just kind of in flux. So that's okay. You know, we're just changing. We're just changing. Change is good. It's okay to flex a little bit to kind of get things moving. Someone said, I bet he has pronouns in his bio. You mean just like you just put pronouns in that statement? Look at this comment. This is fun. How much on a bet this person definitely doesn't know what a pronoun is? How about this? Sir Grid, is it Sir Gideon? Is that what it is? Can you tell me without Googling how many pronouns are in this sentence? Think you can do it? No Googling now. Okay, I don't need you chat GPTing. All right. These third grade answers. All right, can you tell me how many pronouns are in this sentence? I know it's scary. I know pronouns are scary. He's disappeared. I can't find him. He's disappeared. We don't know where he's at. He just, the scary pronouns scared him away. The scary pronouns scared him away. It took him too long already. I'm pretty sure he's gone to the chat GPTs. All right. Y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys, for those of you who have been asking, where were you at yesterday? We missed you. All that stuff. First of all, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you that you miss me. I really do appreciate that. I was honestly just having a real bad mental health day. And I just decided that I just couldn't handle being on live yesterday. So I decided to take the night off. Last second. So I was gonna get on and just my head wasn't in it. My head wasn't in it. My heart wasn't in it. Just one of those down days for me. So I took the night off. That's all. I do apologize, though. Just needed it. So had to do it. You know? So, oh well. We made it. And now I'm back on and oh my goodness, things are not looking good over here. I'm getting a little scared. So hopefully we're able to run the live today. But if we don't see some numbers start to look a little bit more fun over here, we're not going to be able to even get through this tonight because I've already been on for 15 minutes. It's kind of cold. Ugh. Hey, Veronica's back. Freaking, I had a bunch of people asking about you in the last live and you weren't there. Everybody was like, "Where's Veronica? She's always here." Oh, it's all of them. They're all being really, really low and kind of weird right now. It's kind of strange. But that's okay. Hey, as long as we can, get some calls and get some conversations, I'm in. Doesn't bother me at all. So, I'm down for the get down. I'm down for the get down. We did just have a call in, and I just didn't have my phone lines on quite yet. But they're open now. I think Veronica has a crush on me. I think that's what it is. I think Veronica has a crush on me. It's just more and more proof, all right? That we know what Joey likes. Hello, how are you?
What's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 18. I just turned 18.
Were you reborn?
I'm sorry, one more time?
Were you reborn?
What year was I born? 2007.
So you're probably still in high school, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm a senior.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
I would say I'm fairly educated.
You're fairly educated?
Yeah.
Sir, no, you're not.
I I, I
What
try to
what
be.
are what are you educated on?
Modern politics.
You're educated on modern politics. Okay, let's test this theory. All right.
Okay.
Let's test this theory. Okay. What do you think is
Okay.
like your best subject when it comes to modern politics?
My best subject.
Yeah.
I know a lot about Trump.
Trump is not a subject.
Yeah, but your question on your thing says, why do you still support
Yeah.
Trump?
We're
That's what I
past.
wanna
I'm
talk
trying to
about.
decide if I'm even going to talk to you. Okay. So when it comes to the political spectrum of what we consider under politics, what is your area of expertise?
Uh, Probably either public policy or political theory.
Political theory. Interesting. All right. So what's your favorite public policy under Donald Trump? Or domestic policy, we'll put it that way.
Dude, my favorite one?
Yes, the one you think that helps the Americans the most.
Probably restricting immigration would be the biggest one.
And how does that help us domestically?
How does immigration help us?
How does restricting immigration help us domestically?
Domestically or just in general?
Well, sir, it can't help us internationally. So that was just
that's
an
fair.
adjective. How does it help
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Americans? Okay.
I mean, taking good Americans' jobs, doing process or taking processes when it's illegal instead of doing it the right way, things of that nature.
All right. So doing things legally when they should be done the right way. So you believe that people breaking the law is a problem.
Correct.
Awesome. But you voted or at least support a president who has 34 felonies.
False. Falsely convicted.
No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to play the I'm too dumb to have this conversation game. Donald Trump
No,
is
this
a
isn't I'm too dumb.
Donald Trump is a convicted felon. He was convicted by a jury of his peers on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in furtherance of another crime. That is a fact. Okay. So I am asking how you justify, all right, supporting someone who is a convicted felon while also saying you support people not committing crimes.
I am saying that you can play this game that you're just going to talk louder and talk over me. You guys have done the exact same thing. You
Sir.
think Hunter Biden is legitimate?
This is why I don't talk to people that are your age, because I can really deal without the whining. Okay?
This is
Okay,
nothing to
no,
do with whining.
Shh. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, you said you were 18 years old. You have about as short of a leash on my live as that can possibly be imagined. Okay?
Yeah, but I'm not a troll. I still should be respected. My vote counts the same as yours.
No, it doesn't, because you couldn't vote last election. So your vote didn't count. Didn't count the same as mine because you couldn't even make one.
Okay,
Unless you're
Great.
saying that you did
As
make
of-
one. Now, if you did make a vote last election, then we have a whole other problem because that was illegal.
Yeah, correct. I
All
never
right. So,
said
and
that.
since you
You're just-
didn't vote for Trump, okay, you don't have much of a leeway. So, for the final time, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to directly answer the question, or I'm going to move on to an adult.
All right, go ahead.
All right, perfect. You said you have a problem with undocumented immigrants because they are doing things illegally and not the right way. Yet, specifically, you support a president that has 34 felony convictions. How do you justify that?
Because I do not believe he was the one doing that.
Got you. Even though he admitted to the evidence that convicted him
When?
during the discovery phase of the trial, when he admitted to signing the documents that were the evidence that convicted him.
I didn't. I was not aware that happened. I don't think that happened, but I'll take your word for it. I don't understand how that also makes up for the fact that the other side during that same election was doing the same thing. What about Joe Biden and his son?
Sir, Joe Biden and his son, neither of them. Well, Joe Biden's son, who held no position in our government, was convicted on a weapons charge, right? And to be completely honest with you, Hunter Biden has never held a position in our government, and I don't think that he should. I would be probably pretty against that. Joe Biden, on the other hand, was never convicted of any crime. Donald Trump was convicted of crimes, 34 of them to be exact. And again, sir, you're saying you support him because because these undocumented immigrants are committing some crime, and I'm just asking you to justify supporting someone who commits crimes with saying that you don't think people should be committing crimes. I'm just trying to solve that equation in my head. Because I also don't believe that people should be committing crimes, but I don't support felons.
I will say this, because I really don't want to waste your time. I know I'm a kid and you got older people who want to talk. I will just say this. I do not think Trump is a great person. I don't. I really don't. At face value, I don't love that he's in office. I will say this. I think 80% of the country is in agreement that there are way too many extremists. A lot of people are in the 10%. We need more people. A lot of people are close to the middle, right? So I don't agree on all of his things. I'm obviously not supporting him for committing a crime, but I think out of those two, what's better for the safety of our country is Donald Trump because of wars, because of poverty. I think it is better that we have someone that can carry himself in a conference room or in a talk and actually be able to speak with authority instead of walking around confused all the time and tripping and falling over yourself whenever a speech is over and walking around like a Roomba.
Well, Donald Trump was literally walking around with like a Roomba just 2 weeks ago. The prime minister of Japan was holding him by the hand, and as soon as she let go of him, he literally wandered around the room just like what you guys claim Trump did. Trump literally just went and took a dementia test, called it hard, thought it was an IQ test, and then immediately got rushed to go get an MRI directly after, then got on stage to let everybody know how hard that dementia test was and how he didn't think that anybody else could pass it. Okay. And just to let you know, dementia tests aren't supposed to be hard. Okay. I mean, I guess if you have dementia, they are, right? But outside of that, they're not supposed to be difficult. So literally everything that you're claiming that Joe Biden was doing, and whatever, towards the end of his term, he definitely was showing some signs of, of aging and decline a bit. You know what I'm saying? But everything that you're claiming that Joe Biden was doing, Donald Trump is currently doing, and you're still supporting him. So you obviously don't care about those things.
So I do. Once again, it's the better of two evils, and the fact that Donald Trump at his age is still almost, I'm literally pretty sure he's a scratch golfer, if not better.
He's not. Scratch golfer, my ass. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you Dude, you haven't seen the videos?
I'm sorry. He shoots low 70s. I'm sorry.
Dude, have you not seen the videos of literally his freaking assistants dropping balls every single time because he can't find them, and they just drop new ones for him, and he keeps going like he's fucking Kim Jong-un?
So I was off by 2 strokes. So
Donald Trump correctly counting couldn't break 100.
Oh, okay. Joe Biden could not count to 100.
I don't give a fuck about Joe Biden.
So then, what the fuck are you talking? You obviously are going to support Trump if the other one's worse. He can't even count to 100.
Joe
How is
Biden
he
wasn't
gonna be the
running
president?
against Donald Trump, ding dong.
Yeah, Kamala Harris was. She
And
was
Kamala
even
Harris,
worse.
I'm sorry, you're not saying anything about Kamala Harris. Oh, Kamala Harris is not a scratch golfer. Is that what you're saying? Probably not. I don't
No,
think
I'm
she's taken
saying
up the sport.
Kamala Harris in her vice presidency did not do shit. She
All right,
did nothing.
awesome.
Name me 3 things she did that
Was
were
the
actually
tie-breaking
relevant.
Yeah, was the tie-breaking vote in the largest infrastructure bill in American history? Was the tie-breaking vote it was instrumental in passing the PACT Act, which helped get veterans more health care and reduced asylum seeking coming out of the Northern Triangle by 50%.
Bro, that doesn't even. That's not impressive. That's normal. That's
You
her
don't
job.
even no, sir. You just said name 3 things that she did. Because you challenged me to say I couldn't name 3 things that she did. I just named 3 things, and now all of a sudden the 3 things that she did apparently aren't important to you. Can you please tell me,
No.
name 3 things that JD Vance has done in this presidency?
I did not bring up JD Vance.
I did.
You have
No, I'm
idea.
sorry. I did. Can you please name me 3 things that JD Vance has done in this presidency?
I'm sorry. I cannot.
Can you please name to
I'm
me
not
3 things that Mike Pence did when he was vice president?
I did not like Mike Pence.
I didn't ask whether you liked him or not. I asked if you could name 3 things that he did.
No, that's
I
not
didn't.
relevant
I didn't
to the
like Dick
conversation.
Cheney. I could freaking name 3 things that he fucking did.
I understand, and that's kind of my point. Is that's what you're trying to do? Is because yes, dude, you are way more educated on me than this. No one's claiming you're not. So the fact that you're just pissballing random information and big words
No,
into my
sir.
face,
The point is that you
because-
can't
and
name
then you're
a
cutting me
single.
off.
Sir,
You're
you
cutting me
can't name.
off.
Stop whining. You can't name 3 things that any vice president has ever done in the history of the United States. Okay, so why would I expect you to be able to name 3 things that Kamala Harris has done when you literally can't name a singular thing that any of the last 5 vice presidents of the United States have done?
Okay, that does not change the fact that Trump is still a better representative for this country than Kamala Harris.
Name
How do you
3
think-
major
how do you-
things, 3 things that have
how-
helped anything but rich people that Donald Trump has done in both terms.
I don't know, 8 wars? I don't know. That's pretty impressive.
He's created 8 wars. I don't think that's a very good thing.
Ended 8 wars.
What 8 wars has he ended?
8 ceasefires. I can't fucking.
Hold
name
on.
them off
Are
the
they
top of my
8?
head.
Did he end 8 wars or are they 8 ceasefires? Because a ceasefire is not an end of a war, just out of curiosity.
I think it's a mixture of both. I want to say.
Okay, cool. So which wars did he end?
Let me make sure. 8 wars ended in 8 months. Sorry.
Yeah, awesome. Which
yeah.
wars? That would be truly impressive. Yes, I would agree. That would be truly impressive.
Cambodia and Thailand, Israel and Hamas,
Still fighting.
Armenia
Still
and
fighting.
Azerbaijan,
Still fighting.
Egypt and Ethiopia,
Not at war.
Israel and Iran. What do you mean not at war?
I mean, not at war.
Yeah, how?
Sir,
They declared
sir,
war.
can you
how is that not
spell
war?
Azerbaijan?
A-Z.
Oh, he's reading it.
R-B. I was like, you asked me to read
Sir,
the list.
they're
I was
all
like,
still fighting.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so your first excuse was they don't exist, and now it's that they're
No,
still
I
fighting.
said that the end of
Here's
the.
my point,
I
dude.
said that one didn't exist, and they're still fighting. I'm just saying, not technically a war end. But they're
Cambodia
still
and
fighting.
Thailand, Kosovo,
Still fighting.
Serbia, DRC, and I think that one's Rwanda. I think,
Okay. Not,
and then
yep,
Pakistan and India.
yep. Pakistan, India specifically
Yeah.
even came out specifically, and the Prime Minister of India said that the end of this war had absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump, and also they just bombed each other, like they were just freaking setting off bombs in each other's lands, like this week.
You know what? I'll even give that one to you. What about the other wars?
Yeah, Israel and Gaza still fighting. Palestine's still fighting. War's not over. Also, it was a ceasefire, which is not an end of the war. Okay. Also, there have been multiple ceasefires since the beginning of this happened, including multiple under Biden. Nobody gave him credit for ending the war because there was a ceasefire. The Israel and Iran situation was what he called the 8-day war. So then, at that point, you're also going to give him credit for starting the war because he was the one that bombed them to fucking begin with. Okay, so United States bombed someone, and then fucking what? We get credit for starting the war and ending the war by stopping bombing them? Yeah, that doesn't fucking count as anything. He called it the 8-day war. That doesn't fucking exist. You can't just call stuff a war because of it. When we talk about like the DRC, that's freaking extremist groups and terrorist groups within the region that are fighting against each other. They are still fighting against each other to this day. Okay, it hasn't changed at all. The Cambodia and Thailand, they're still fucking fighting. Like, what are you talking about, sir?
Okay.
You can't just come out. You can't
What
just,
about
sir.
Azerbaijan?
Hold
What
on,
about
sir.
Azerbaijan?
Sir, you can't just come out and just say, "Hey, I stopped all these wars," and then the wars keep fighting, and you're like, "I did it. Give me the Nobel Peace Prize." That's not how that works.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What about Armenia then?
What about Armenia? They're still fighting. No one
No,
stopped
they're
fighting.
not. On August 8th, they had a peace agreement.
Yeah, so did all the rest of these countries that I said were
Shook
fighting.
hands in the White House.
They all had peace agreements. Every single one of them. And they all broke those peace agreements immediately because they weren't real peace agreements.
What do you mean they weren't real? They just did them for fun?
No, it's mostly just Donald Trump telling two countries they're going to sign this peace agreement without having any understanding of actually what's going on. And then they sign it and immediately the whole thing folds over because, again, Donald Trump doesn't have any understanding of what's actually going on in these countries or how to fix them.
Okay, so you don't think some of the missions and task force he's assigned for certain assassinations have been successful?
Like which one?
All of them in general.
No, like name one.
The head of Hamas.
Which one? There's lots of heads of Hamas. Which one did Trump authorize the assassination of?
What the fuck was that guy's name? Hadid.
It's insane.
Pretty sure that was an Israeli strike.
What'd you say?
Pretty sure that was an Israeli strike.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure it was.
Well, there's one clip I saw. I'm not sure the name. It was he held a press conference after they killed the guy, and he did like a 40-minute press run right after it.
Yeah, sir. Again, just because Donald Trump says something happened doesn't mean that it happened.
Okay, I don't understand.
Sir, Donald Trump can get on stage and say he solved world hunger and put boots on the moon. Okay? That doesn't mean it happened. I need more than a Trump press conference to say that something happened.
It was Abu Baghdadi, that guy. Yeah.
Baghdadi in his first term?
Yeah. How does it have... It's still his presidency.
Cool. That's awesome. Glad he hit Baghdadi. That's awesome. I didn't end a war.
I'm sorry. You're just saying... You would have been talking about it way more if it was a Democrat that did
Everybody talked about it consistently.
Yeah, and now you're just blowing it aside like it's not a big deal. Because
no, it was fine. It was a great strike. It didn't end a war. He died like a dog. A beautiful dog.
Yeah, I don't understand why you're
everybody's
playing it off.
Dude, everybody's forever going to remember that speech. That speech just showed how unpresidential Donald Trump actually is.
What?
You would think they would go through the door, not these guys. No, they don't go through the door. They're just like, they go through the wall, and it's like, boom.
Yeah, so?
Someone said it the best. It was Donald Trump. Oh, it was what's his freaking name? That comedian that was talking about it, like how he said it, like
Shane Gillis?
Yeah, Shane Gillis, like just says like one of us because he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. So he's literally just describing a strike as someone who's never seen a military strike ever in his fucking life. Like it's true. Like he's just like, oh my goodness, these guys, they go in, they go through the walls and they send in the dogs.
let me ask you a question still on topic because I've been seeing your shit like pop up on my stuff. Hell, I've always wanted to ask you this because I first saw you once this whole.
Oh, you're a fan. That's cute. Down. I like that.
What were your fans? The fans crazy, bro. I just get fried and sometimes run into your clips, bro. But what are your thoughts on Charlie Kirk?
Who?
Charlie Kirk. Dude, you know who Charlie Kirk is, bro.
I haven't heard of him.
You've never heard of the guy that got assassinated
MLK?
On September 10th. Huh?
Oh, MLK.
Bro, this has to be rage bait. Charlie Kirk.
Got nothing, dude. Sorry.
Dude, that's so messed up, bro. You know who that is, bro.
I do? Oh.
Yes, the guy that went to college campuses and gave speeches.
Abraham Lincoln?
Dude, he died, man.
Yeah, I know. It was really
Like,
sad in that theater. It was like John Wilkes Booth, right?
Dude, he had a
That was
family, bro.
yeah, I know. I think he had like 4 kids or something. I mean, he was like 6'6" and wore that like top hat too, so
And this is the
like
shit
I would
that-
I would imagine
Dude,
that, you know, I would
is the
imagine that
shit
it was very,
pisses
very
me
sad.
off.
Plus he had like the, you know, the whole like kind of into
Nah,
slavery
on
thing.
God, this
So
is the shit that pisses me off with liberals, bro.
oh, I don't care what pisses you off. I'm also not a liberal.
Dude, you're disrespecting a man who was shot in cold blood in front of his kid,
You mean like George Floyd?
in front of his daughter. What the hell are you talking about? I'm not condemning any of those actions.
Well, I'm just saying, like George Floyd was held down by the police and had a boot on his neck and was like choked to death in front of his family.
That was terrible. When did I say it wasn't?
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
just
make a joke.
you know just asking about what was happening. You
Dude,
know,
I
if we're talking
understand
about every single person on the planet who just got killed, you know, at some point by, you know, somebody.
I understand that, and at no point am I making a joke.
What about
or
like
being
what about like
lighthearted about it.
Melissa Hortman, who was like killed in her house in bed in her husband by a crazed Trump supporter?
Okay, that is awful, and I pray that that family recovers. I would never.
Yeah, me too.
Make a joke of that, and I just want to say.
I'm not making a joke about anything, sir. I think that's very, very
I want
serious.
to say this before you interrupt me because this is a
I really
valid
don't
point.
care.
Yeah, you are making a joke about something, and then justifying it by saying,
Why should
George
I have
Floyd, the same thing happened.
sir, why should I have empathy for Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk specifically told me not to.
"What do you mean he specifically told you
Charlie
not to?
Kirk
He has
on
no
his
idea
show
who you are."
specifically said that no one should have empathy and empathy is for the weak. So why should I show empathy to Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk specifically said that empathy is for the weak and we shouldn't show it?
Are you a dishonest person? would
I'm
you
a
say?
completely honest person, sir. Did you not hear
Okay.
where he said that?
Okay, no, that's not what I'm asking. So then why would you sit here on this phone with this
Because
18-year-old kid who's trying to learn?
You're
and-
how
and
old?
say, I said this 18-year-old kid that's trying to learn.
You're an adult. Grow up.
Oh, okay, all right, fine. You want to be a fucking dickhead? Fine. You sat here and lied to my face like a pussy.
No, sir. I just don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk, and I have no will to talk about him. Okay?
Yeah, that's because you're
I just
a
don't
faggot.
care. Oh, okay. Well, you're the one that's over here crashing out over some guy who did not care about you at all.
First of all, he does. Second of all,
He does?
He died in the Lord's name. So no.
He died in the
care. You're
Lord's
probably-
name?
You're probably are you an atheist?
Am I? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, buddy.
Look,
you
I
will
got-
rot
I
in
got-
hell one day.
I got one
You will
concern.
rot in hell one day, and I will not feel bad.
Oh no, I'm gonna rot in the place I don't
Yes.
believe exists. Ooh, scary.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I am so terrified,
care.
sir. I am
That
so
is-
terrified of that
that is
place
great.
that I don't believe exists. And also the Bible doesn't
I
describe.
hope Jesus
And actually
finds
the
you,
Bible
bro.
never actually mentions hell. And also the Bible, it doesn't even exist within your religion. And also you're indoctrinated. But can I get big 666s in the chat? Can we get 666 in the chat? Can we get a hail Satan? Satan, please come from the underworld and rain down on this caller. Bless him. Bless him with your butt, baby. Bless him with your butt, baby.
Listen, man. I hope Jesus finds you, bro.
Hail Satan. I hope Satan finds you in your sleep and touches you in all of your no-no places. May Satan come from the underworld like an incubus. May he send his incubus to touch you in your sleep tonight.
See, this is what it is, because this is what liberals do. Because I'm going to say this, and you're going to freak out, but I am
Probably
so
not.
justified in saying that if I saw you on the street right now, I would beat the shit out of you.
Ooh, very Christian-like. You sure you're
No,
going to heaven?
You just said that you hope the devil comes and rapes me.
No. The demons do that, not the devil.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
yeah.
Okay. So, yes, I am going to laugh when I'm in heaven with my family and my father and I'm going to look down and see you rotting in hell, and I'm not going to feel bad.
Shouldn't you
Now,
be
that
practicing
does not
some sort
mean-
of like? Shouldn't you be practicing some sort of like forgiveness or turning the other cheek? You're not very
That's
good
what
at
I was
this.
just about to
You're
say.
not very good
I
at
do
this whole
still love you
Christian
as a
thing.
brother in Christ.
Oh no, you just told me you hope I go to hell and you're going to laugh at me. That's actually the exact opposite of what the Bible tells you to do. You know, the Bible does say that we will know you by your fruits, and I don't believe anybody that would actually say that is actually a Christian. So honestly, I'm questioning your faith. It sounds like you're going to be in hell that doesn't exist with me. Because if you were a true Christian, you would be practicing forgiveness.
Maybe, you know what? And I have my flaws just like everyone else. But
Well, I'll see you in hell then, buddy. I'll save that demon. I'll save that demon bed for you. I think he probably likes you
as my Lord and Savior. He died for our sins.
Sir, I do not care. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior when I was 4 too. Am I good?
I think you need to repent.
Oh no, I already accepted him, so I guess I'm good, right? I did it in Sunday school when I was a kid, so I'm good now. Right?
No, I think you need to acknowledge Jesus every day in your life and talk to him every day.
I acknowledge Satan and Satan only. I only acknowledge the one true Satan.
Yeah, and it's crazy that you're a grown man and I'm more mature than you, and I'm 18 years old. And this is what frustrates me. Is some people live their life, and you're gonna go to bed happy tonight. You're gonna have a laugh with your chat, the little group.
Oh no, we're already laughing at you, sir. Don't worry. We don't have to wait for you to leave for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're laughing at sir. Unlike people like you, I laugh at people to their faces. I don't wait till they leave. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you're immature.
That's fine, sir.
So yeah, you're immature, and
all right. Well, have a good day. Y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Lovely Goddess, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate it. Not him chat GPTing his whole argument. They tend to do that. And Allison, thank you so much for the mystery gift with the 650. I appreciate that so much. Tatted text, I hope all of the MAGA get those 50-year loans. Why has MAGA so happy to talk about the emails, but now they're silent? They have been very, very quiet about the Epstein files lately, haven't they? They have been very, very quiet about those Epstein files today. Just throwing that out there. Thank you so much, Tatted. Patty, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. I appreciate that. Brian said, yo, I'm trying to call in. This guy is dumb. Well, you have to wait until I turn the phone lines back on. Okay. But thanks for the $2. I appreciate that. Hey, let's also thank you for the 2 for the 666. And Taurus with the 5 gifted memberships. Big W's in chat for Taurus for the 5 gifted today. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Those are going out to, who just got those? Looks like Theo, Uncle Ben, Spirit Wolf, Adam. I can't see who the other one was. Thank you guys so much for this, for that. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for those memberships. We're going to move on to the next caller, keep this thing going. It's always great when I take a day off and come back to a crash out. So let's see if we can get this thing going today. I really, really appreciate you guys. Yes, only hail to Satan and the Flying Spaghetti Monster. That is all we hail to. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you? How old are you?
15, and you?
You're too young. Go play with Legos, kid. Go play with Legos. Hello, how are you?
Going, man. First time caller, short time listener. So
cool, man. How old are
you? Yeah, I'm doing fine. So what's your main
listen up. How old are you?
Me?
Yes.
I'm in my 40s.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Define support.
I mean, do you support the things that the president is doing?
No, I wouldn't say everything he does. No, I would say, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the point of this here, man, is to talk to people who support Trump still for some odd reason.
Well, okay, so in American politics, I mean, you have the option of, usually it's a two-party system, usually. So, yeah, between Biden or Hillary Clinton or Kamala, yeah, I mean, Trump was the better choices in those elections. That doesn't mean I, agree with everything that Trump has ever said or ever done.
Gotcha.
What's your position on him?
Yeah, I don't see how he's better considering prices have gone up since Donald Trump has been in office. Gas prices are up since Donald Trump has been in office. Job losses are at their worst since the shutdown for COVID. They have the highest unemployment rate since the shutdown for COVID. We have now freaking been, our foreign policy is completely ridiculous. We're giving ridiculous amounts of money to places like Argentina and freaking, still supporting Israel at a super high level and bailing out a whole bunch of other countries at the expense of American farmers, right? And not only that, we're freaking bombing, boats in Venezuela, talking about going to fight, Nigeria and Venezuela. We have all the rest of the countries around the world that have started trading with each other instead of with us due to Donald Trump's trade war. We are significantly worse as a country now than we were when Biden left office. So I can't see how in any possibility Donald Trump is a better option.
Yeah, so you listed a bunch of different economic indicators and such. Well, the election isn't today. The election was last year.
Right, and you can stop supporting him now by realizing you made a bad choice.
But there isn't a presidential election right now.
So?
Okay, so you're saying that because prices haven't gone down since he's been elected, therefore anybody who voted for him shouldn't support him. That was one of your arguments. Is that right?
Donald Trump said he was going to end the war with Ukraine within 24 hours of becoming president. He said he was going to end the war between Israel and Gaza within 24 hours of being president. He said within 24 hours of his presidency, prices were going to go down. None of those things happened, except, in fact, all of those things, the opposite happened. Okay, the war in Ukraine and Russia has escalated. Right, we did have a temporary ceasefire between Ukraine and Palestine and Hamas, which took like 10 months, and they're still fighting and killing each other to this day, and your grocery prices are up. He said he was going to bring jobs back to America with his tariff policy. Jobs have left the United States at a very significant rate. Right? So the things that you said that you voted for Donald Trump on that were somehow better than Kamala Harris, okay, he's not done any of those, and he's made those situations worse. Okay?
What? Mm-hmm. So I haven't specifically stated why I voted for Trump over Kamala last year, but you mentioned you said, well, all those foreign policy stuff, all those things are worse than they were back then. So do you think there's more fighting now between Hamas, the Islamic resistance movement, and Israel now, or do you think there was more fighting back in 2024?
There was more fighting then.
So how did it get worse?
Because it got worse up until it stopped now. It was worse, and now it's slowed down. We're at a temporary pause.
So who arranged the ceasefire between Gaza and Hamas, according to Qatar and
this
Turkey?
Ceasefire?
This
one. I don't want to confuse that with the ceasefires that did exist prior in the same conflict, not under Trump. But I assume you mean this one because it's Donald Trump.
Yeah, we can call it whatever we want to call it. The hostages coming back.
Yeah, again, which
released.
time? You do realize 140 hostages were released under the Biden administration, and 20 were this time, right?
Sure. Yeah. So
Okay.
this most recent one.
Well, yeah, that would be Donald Trump.
So how did it get worse?
Again, sir, it got worse all the way up until now. Okay, he didn't become president a month ago. You know that, right?
Right. So
all of that time from January when he took office, the fighting was worse all this year. All right, up until this ceasefire right now. Okay, which is not an end to the war. It is not a long-term solution, and they are still continuing to fight. And yes, for this small amount of time, they are fighting a little bit less. I hope that holds. But this is not anything significant, sir. There was big lulls in the fighting under the Biden administration.
Yeah, I agree with you that there should be peace in the Middle East. What do you think the solution should be?
What do I think the solution should be? I think that a two-state solution should exist. But Donald Trump not only has not mentioned whether there should be a two-state solution exist, he's actually given no long-term plan to ending this conflict whatsoever.
I support a two-state solution. So let's talk about that. Are you willing to talk about that?
Sir, I don't know what that has to do with anything because we're talking about Donald Trump right now and your continued support for him. And Donald Trump doesn't believe that there should be a two-state solution.
So the
what I'm saying is Donald Trump is an ineffective president and an actual detriment to the American people. That is what I am saying. Okay. And while you might have disliked Kamala Harris and you may have disliked Joe Biden, and that's fine. There was a whole bunch of shit Joe Biden did that I wasn't a big fan of. And shit, there was a whole bunch of stuff that Kamala Harris said that I wasn't a big fan of. If you want to put them in comparison to each other, it's really not even fucking close. Donald Trump was not a good president his first term. And he's a worse president this time. We didn't have under Biden, the U.S. military in American cities freaking, attacking people, freaking assaulting people, shooting, pastors with pepper balls, right? We didn't have that. We didn't have Customs and Border Protection in Chicago zip tying children and throwing them in the back of vans or leaving people out in the cold naked, like zip tied on the ground in Chicago or helicopters flying over doing attacks. We didn't have alligator Alcatraz or people being sent to CCOT. We didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I'm trying to understand I'm trying to understand your position. So because you mentioned a lot of topics, and that's fine. Obviously, this is stuff you're passionate about. So the two-state solution, I agree with that. You agree with that. So the Mamdani, right? Just got elected mayor of New York City. I assume you're a supporter of his, right?
A very big support.
Okay. And so he's a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Are you a socialist, or where are you at on that?
I am not. I have no issue with democratic socialism, though. I probably lean closer to that than I do other things. But no, I'm a progressive.
Okay. So who would you be when you say you're a progressive, who's your kind of, so I understand where you're coming from. Is there a go-to political guy that you're just like, man, that guy, he's my hero. I love him.
Absolutely
I give him money. Okay. So you're kind of your own man, or you kind of like a Bernie bro, or when you say you're progressive, is there a certain, you're just kind of off in your own thing, or what?
Yeah, sir, I don't hold some huge oh, I love this person, this political person is my hero. That's a joke. I'm not like a Trump supporter where we buy flags and hats and throw on red and do all this stuff and just believe everything that comes out of his mouth. I don't idolize political candidates is a great way to put it. Okay. I don't idolize them whatsoever. They are people that are elected in order to do a job. And when they don't do a job and they suck at doing their job, or even worse than that, like what Donald Trump is doing, which is being specifically anti-constitutional, right? And breaking the laws and constitution in the process of it, then I'm the one that stands up and says that that's bad.
Right, I hear you saying. So I wonder how many Trump voters you've met, because he won 77 million votes last time, all the swing states. I voted for Trump 3 times. I've given speeches at Republican politics. I've counted votes before in the past. Obviously, I'm not some big shot. I'm just a normal person. But yeah, I don't idolize political figures. I never worn a Trump hat, Trump T-shirt. There's people that wear Bernie hats and Trump hats and stuff, but it's very rare you ever meet. I rarely ever meet anybody like that in real life. You know what I mean?
There literally is multiple Trump stores around where I live. Literally, I see people in Trump hats or have Trump flags on their cars, literally on a daily basis. And I mean that literally.
I believe you. I see it on TV, but I live in the Midwest, so maybe we're more laid back on it. But yeah, I look at more like you evaluate people at the time of the election, and okay, so Trump, his first term, he took out Soleimani. He authorized the killing of the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. Did you think those were good ideas, or you thought,
I think they were Mattis's idea.
Sorry, say again?
I think they were Mattis's idea.
Okay, so you thought you approved of it, but you're saying it was one of Trump's aides.
You think Donald Trump has a fucking clue about freaking about who the leader of ISIS is, where he is located, or how to put up an operation. Here, actually, if you have any idea about whether Donald Trump has a clue on how a military strike or operation or the international effects of anything that he's doing is happening, then just watch his speech about when Baghdadi was killed. That's all you have to do.
Oh,
He has no
yeah,
fucking
no, I've seen
clue.
the speech.
Yeah, he has no fucking
I've
clue.
seen the speech. I've seen the the impression of it. It was pretty funny. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think Trump is some like PhD level general or military expert. I mean, he's a real estate developer. I mean, he's just kind of a normal person in America that got elected president, and obviously we deal with that. I mean, I don't think Kamala was some high tech general military expert either, and I don't think Biden was either, as far as I know. I don't think that's necessarily a requirement. There has to be, have to.
Sir, I'm not
You're not saying we
asking
have to
for
have
a
a general.
PhD level. I am asking
You're
for
not saying
a
we have to
middle
have a
school
general?
level. And I don't think Donald Trump has a middle school level of what is going on in the Middle East.
No, I don't know, but I mean, you don't think that we need to have a general, right? You don't think we need to have some sort of military expert to be president, right?
I don't think that's necessity, but I do think it's a good idea when our presidents actually listen to their military experts, right? Because our military experts are people that actually have spent their entire life studying that, most of the time at a PhD level. And what I have seen significantly that happened in Donald Trump's first term was Mattis quit, right? Because of all the horse shit that Donald Trump was doing. All right. General Milley has come out specifically against him, saying that he was trying to send the U.S. military against American citizens, right? Which people laughed at during the election. Now he's not only sent the National Guard in, but also literally just on 60 Minutes said he's not against sending active duty Army and Marines into these American cities, all right, where people are currently being hurt. Okay. So it is two different things. One, to have a full PhD level understanding of Afghanistan and Al-Qaeda and, and how the Middle East works. There's two, having a general enough understanding that my actions have consequences and being able to listen to other people that do understand it, right? To be able to make actual decisions that are helpful for the United States. All right. Donald Trump
I
doesn't know how to do the last part. Kamala Harris did.
Mm-hmm.
So did Joe Biden.
Do you feel like Kamala Harris, she was more willing to defer to military? I mean, I think I basically agree with your general point that the president should, find out information from military experts. And yeah, I mean, I've certainly read accounts where Trump will have people debate in front of him, different policy ideas. You can argue that, he should be, you can criticize and say, well, hey, I think he should have chose the other expert, but I mean, I don't necessarily think that, Kamala could ask a military expert, well, what are the ideas? I mean, okay, so you got J.D. Vance, obviously it's going to be him or Rubio coming up here. Rubio, the diplomat.
Hold up, what experts does he have?
I'm sure
What
there's tons of them that
experts
work
does
for the
Donald Trump
Senate.
have?
I don't know.
His Secretary
go
of
ahead.
Defense was a Fox News host last year.
Okay, but that's somebody who's been in the military, so it's more than middle school knowledge. Military
Barely.
affairs, right?
He was a low-level officer in the Marines. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand freaking high-level military experts and like all sorts of stuff. He was sending information about strikes on Signal.
Yeah, it probably wasn't a good idea. So are you, would you say kind of a foreign policy?
Experts? Like what I'm saying is what experts? Like he has Kristi Noem fucking playing dress up, running around the country, freaking Department of Homeland Security, right? Just no idea what she's doing. Pam Bondi's the Attorney General. She has no idea what she's fucking doing. What I'm saying is there's one thing to have a bunch of experts in your cabinet and around you, as a president, and then you are taking in all that information from all these experts and you're trying to make a real informed decision based off of all the knowledge. That is incredibly helpful. I agree with that. Donald Trump has surrounded himself with yes men that are not experts in any of these fields. Okay, so how can Donald Trump make an informed decision based off of expert recommendation if he surrounds himself with people that aren't experts?
Yeah, no, I think I generally agree with that point that, yeah, the president should have experts around him talking to him. And I just have to hope that that the people that are working for him in his cabinet, these, people that I think they know more about these topics than the average, Shimon, the average guy on the street. But yeah, I understand these people aren't. You're saying, well, these guys aren't, where are their academic qualifications, where, these aren't, PhDs or generals or, experts in their fields. So I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree. Ideally, I think the president should have, very good advisors. I mean, Trump's kind of a guy who cycles through advisors very quickly. You know what I mean? So it sounds like in the second term, he's kind of prioritized more loyalty than that. But that doesn't necessarily go to the base. Okay, so, so Mamdani. Okay, so you're saying you're a big supporter of his. So let me ask you these three things. I got three things for you. Okay, so. All right, so Mamdani, he says in February, and I'm not reading anything, I just memorized, okay? So, and I know you've heard this a million times, I'm sure. So February 2021, he gives keynote speech, the Democratic Socialists of America, and he says the end goal is seizing the means of production, okay? And that's, of course, the seizing the means of production, that's the goal of communism, which is the means of production,
the goal
factories,
of socialism.
businesses, and stuff.
But go ahead.
Sorry, say again?
It's actually more of a goal of socialism, but continue.
Yeah, you could call that a goal of socialism. I mean, yeah, communism is the ideal state of a classless, stateless society. Sure, I get it. But he says that's the end goal. So he says that's the end goal is the seizure of the means of production. So, that's actually doing that. Of course, would violate the private property rights. And the Bill of Rights and stuff, having the government as the sole, major employer.
And Donald Trump just did that 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Donald Trump just used the American government and the American taxpayer dollars to buy private stake in Intel and said he's going to do it with multiple other companies going forward. Donald Trump literally did what Mamdani said he was going to do. In 2021,
Really?
Donald Trump just did that 3 months ago, and I don't hear you complaining.
We have an idea or not, but do you see it? You don't see any sort of difference between, the U.S. government having a stake in some private company and making the federal government the major employer and seizing the means of production? You don't see any difference between those?
I see just one leading to the next one. That's all I see.
Okay. All right. So then, Mamdani. So I see.
Sure. You know what else I find like just awesome, like truly awesome.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had to go all the way back to 2021 to one keynote speech to find something bad that Mamdani said.
Oh, it's bad. Do you think
No,
it's
something
bad
that's bad in your opinion. I don't think it's bad at all.
So,
but the fact that you had to go to one speech in 2021 to find something is kind of crazy, right? Like, why are you so
it's not crazy at all.
It is crazy.
No, it's not crazy
Why
at all.
are you not concerned with the excellent policies that he has now?
Well, I can certainly debate those if you really want to, but those are the short-term stuff. I mean, he was talking about more the long-term. That was the context of the speech. He was saying, obviously we can talk about his, having the government set prices and set wages. We can talk about that and say, well, do economists think that's true, or is that just kind of a rejection of mainstream economic science?
You mean Donald Trump specifically trying to make sure he sets the prices of pharmaceuticals, like currently?
Yeah, I mean, I could criticize Donald Trump on these on those issues, but let me try to ask you this. So, I mean, I assume you studied this. Since you're saying, hey, you have no problem with the government seizing the means of production. Have you looked into how that worked out in North Korea, in the Soviet Union? In Mao's China,
sir. First of all, if you actually look at the context of what Mamdani said, he is not in any way comparing it whatsoever to any of those countries. Because if you actually look at true socialism, none of those countries are actually socialists. Okay, but let me be very, very clear that nobody's fucked this. Like you, how old did you say you were?
I see you're shifting topics to
no, we're not.
Something else.
No, I'm not. How old did you say you were?
That's not true socialism. I'm in my 40s. So you
awesome,
said
sir.
It's not true socialism. None of those are true socialism.
Absolutely
Why not?
Huh?
Tell me why.
Because those were totalitarian dictatorships.
Okay, so if the government is your main employer, if you get
fired...
Sorry,
socialism does not say anything about the government being the main employer. That's just something you're making up.
Okay, so if the government seizes the means of production, that would make the federal government the main employer.
What does socialism strive for?
It depends on what kind of socialism we're talking about.
Okay, pick one and tell me.
Well, I mean, I remember, I think it was Professor Wolf. You know Professor Wolf, right?
Sure.
Okay, he does some debates. I mean, you could say
I don't really
socialism.
What he was. I'm just asking for your definition because no definition of actual socialism can be compatible with totalitarianism.
Okay. Okay, cool. All right. So, I mean, the way I like to think about it, I think it might have been Professor Wolf or somebody else talking about this. So you could say socialism is government spending on social programs. Like sometimes I've heard people from TYT says, well, socialism, that's, you know, taxes paying for roads or building a school or paying for firefighters. That's socialism. Well, in that case, I'm a socialist, and so is Donald Trump, and so is the Republican platform.
No, it's not.
I mean, that's not
First of all,
normally what people think of as.
first of all, that's democratic socialism. That's literally the
Okay.
party platform for what Mamdani wants. Is part of.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
is
So
strong
when
social
you say
programs
socialist-
mixed with capitalism.
Okay.
That's what democratic socialism is. Technically, it makes him a social democrat, but we're not going to get that far into the weeds on the meanings of actually which type of socialism you're talking about. But when we actually talk about socialism, socialism strives for an equitable payout for the amount of labor that you put out, right? So it's saying that if you put out a certain level of labor, like say you work into Amazon, right? If you work in Amazon and you put out a amount of labor, then you should be able to receive benefits based off the production of Amazon, right? That Jeff
Okay, so you're saying
Bezos and the board of Amazon should not be the primary benefactors of your labor. Okay, that is what
Let me
socialism is.
clarify.
Okay,
Let me ask you a question. Thank you for defining it.
In one
Thank you
second,
for defining what you believe socialism is.
well,
Can I ask you a
that's what
question
it
to
is
clarify that?
definitionally. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So
No
when you
problem.
talk about things like North Korea, do they do that? Do they strive for that? Or do they
Yeah, we
strive?
strive for it.
You think that North
They
Korea
say they
is
do, sure.
striving for equitable return on labor?
Okay, so they do. You said that social spending is socialism. And then you said labor rights are socialism. Okay, so obviously North Korea has no labor rights, obviously, but they do claim to do social spending, and you did define socialism as social spending.
Yeah.
So,
They also claim to be democratic.
oh yeah, sure. So they claim to be democratic socialists. So there you
No,
go.
they claim to be the
But-
Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Are they
And they're saying they're
democratic?
building
Do they have
socialism.
free and
No, of
fair
course they're
election?
not.
Okay, are they a
No, of
People's
course not.
Republic?
No, of course not.
Then
You and I
why are
both
we
agree on
talking
that.
about what North Korea is claiming?
Because they seize the means of production.
No, they just own everything. Okay?
Do you know what the means of production are?
Sir, the means of production being owned by the people is socialism. The means of production being owned by the government and that government is a dictatorship is not socialism.
How would the people own something collectively that's not, and they're not the government? How would that work?
Very easy. Like, is this a joke? Like, are we...
No, I'm asking you to tell me your plan.
Okay, let's
would
pretend
that
like,
work?
sir, there's tons of different ways it could work. But even if the government is owning it, okay, if all the money is going to the government and staying with the government, that's not socialism. Okay, so if the government owns like the means of production for everything and all of that money is going to the government and then it's staying with the government, that's not socialism. Okay, that's totalitarianism. All right, if it goes back down and is equitably distributed among the people, okay, then that is socialism. But since North Korea's government starves their people,
right?
Okay,
Yep.
that's not socialism. Okay, that's a totalitarian dictatorship.
Okay. Yeah.
So where the money goes is important. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're more worried about the government taking it. I'm more worried about what the government does when they have it. If they keep it, it's not socialism anymore.
Okay. So in the DSA, which Mamdani is part of, the main factions are Marxist factions. And they often, traditionally Marx believed in labor theory of value. You were explaining that socialism earlier. I wanted to clarify. Are you saying that socialism is the labor theory of value? Or are you saying that socialism is fighting for labor rights?
Socialism is fine for equitable return on labor.
What do you mean, equitable return on labor? Are you saying that the value of things is determined by how much labor you put into it?
I'm saying that your labor, the value of your labor is determined of what comes back from that labor. Yes. The return on that labor.
So you do support the labor theory of value that Marx argued for, is that right?
I don't know what that is, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, so let's say, this is Marx's whole theory. I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, but I mean, okay, so the
Sounds
What
like you're kind of
determines
already
prices?
on a tangent, to be completely honest with you.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's why it's not a tangent. Because Madami, whatever you think of as, particular, having the government set prices and wages, which most economists would say
Sir,
that's
you
usually
found
not a
one
not a
speech
good idea.
that you're taking out of context from 4 years ago and making it Mamdani's entire platform.
I said that's his. He
Yes,
said it was his
you
long-term
are.
goal.
How about what you're talking about? His long-term goals right now have nothing to do with that speech.
He's never retracted, apologized, or anything. He said, nope, that's what he believes in.
Gotcha,
I take him
sir.
at his word.
So Donald Trump said, I like it when I can go back into the dressing rooms of freaking Miss Teen USA and I can just go around and see them naked, and that's okay.
I don't believe in that. That sounds terrible.
Donald Trump said you can just go grab them by the hoo-ha. If you're famous, they just let you do it. Just literally bragging about sexually assaulting people. That's okay?
Not. Is that whataboutism, though? Saying,
Yes,
well,
it is whataboutism, sir, because you have drugged this conversation so far to your fucking crazy support of Trump that you are literally hinging your entire point off of the New York City mayor's speech from 4.5 years ago, taken out of context, instead of the policies that we're talking about right now, sir. Mamdani's policies right now.
What part is out of context? What part is out of context?
Sir, I could play the speech for you. It's not that difficult, okay? But currently, sir. The fact that Mamdani right now is supporting things like free VPK, he's supporting things like free busing, okay? He's supporting things like subsidizing grocery stores so people can eat. Those are the things that I support from Mamdani. The things that he is supporting that he can implement into a place that needs it right now, okay? Having an actual affordability and living wage, fix in the United States. Things like rent controls. Those are the things from Mamdani I support right now, okay? I don't go back to 2021 to try to find something that maybe I disagree with somebody on in order to prove my point. Okay. Donald Trump has said some of the most horrific things ever about people in the United States. Okay. I don't need to go back 4 months or go before years to even find something bad that he said. I can usually go back about 4 minutes. Okay. And find something that Donald Trump has said that is horrifically bad about people. Okay. Like currently, okay? So what I'm saying, sir, is that while, sure, if you want to go back and try to nitpick something that somebody said freaking 4 years ago in order to make your point because that's the literal only thing you have wrong with his policy, then that's totally fine. But honestly, it's just a waste of time to me because I'm not defending Mamdani's one statement about seizing the means for production 4 years ago. I'm going off of what the amazing thing he's trying to do for American citizens right now. You know what?
Let's talk about that then.
Yeah, let's do
talk
that.
about that. You say you don't care about his long-term goals.
No, I'm not saying I don't care about his long-term goals. I'm saying I don't care about his one fucking speech from 4 years ago. He has long-term goals right now, okay, that he's trying to implement that are excellent.
Okay, let's talk about those then. Okay,
all right,
so
cool.
Rent control. Let's talk only about the short term. Okay, let's just talk rent control. The government sets the price.
Stand by.
Okay.
What? Do you live in New York City?
I'm American. I'm not giving my location.
You don't have to give your location. Is it in or not in New York City?
I told you earlier I was in the Midwest.
All right, awesome. Why are you so concerned with New York City? They have this awesome thing called a free and fair election, where they heard what Mamdani was doing, and they overwhelmingly and significantly voted in those policies because they need it.
Okay, so Trump did the same thing, 77 million votes.
Yeah, and Kamala Harris had 76 million votes. Cool, that's fine. He won by like 1.5%, okay? Yes, but see, here's the thing. Both you and I are now experiencing the incredible negatives under Donald Trump's policies right now. You and I are both doing that. Neither of us, hold on, sir, neither of us are going to experience a single negative from Mamdani.
How do you know? You don't think New York City affects the rest of the country?
Do I think Mamdani's policies are going to affect the rest of the country? No, I wish they would, honestly. But no, they won't.
Okay, let's talk about rent control. Do you think most economists think rent control works?
Can you please explain to me how rent control in New York City is going to affect either of us?
Okay, so have you ever seen The Christmas Carol? Have you ever read the book?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the famous line. I'm trying to relate to you here. So, and I think you probably agree with this, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me just ask you. So, what is the famous quote from Marley? What does he say? Does he say "mankind is my business"? Right?
Okay.
Okay. So, I think your argument is saying, well, hey, if you don't live in New York City, who cares? And
No, you're
he
just
won the
not.
election,
You're
so who
not
cares,
living
right?
in a place that has a rent problem, and you're
How
trying
do you
to
know that?
argue. You're trying because you live in the Midwest, and of any place in the United States that does not have a housing problem, the Midwest is probably the place that has it the least out of any other place. Okay,
Well,
the place
that's
that
fair, but
the
actually,
place that has
it's a big
it the
political issue here.
the
It's a
place
big
that has it the
affordability.
most, the place that has it the most is a place like New York City. They have it the
Okay.
most, and they're sick and tired of the fucking policies that have been put in place by people like Cuomo or like Eric Adams, right? Which
Okay.
absolutely is destroying them and completely pricing them out and creating a homeless problem, creating a freaking famine problem, creating all of these issues within the city. Okay, so their policies in that city are being voted on to fix their problems in that city. I support those policies because they attack affordability, and I am very, very much for affordability. I think that we have a very big affordability problem in this country. We have a very big housing problem in this country, right? I think we have a very big education problem in this country, and I think things like VPK are incredibly important, right? Like, and the fact that not only are, is he advocating for, a free, VPK, but, other states around the United States are ripping away their VPK, their Head Start programs and stuff like that, right? I like Mamdani from an ideological standpoint because let's be completely honest when it comes to Mamdani. A lot of the things that he really wants to do, he doesn't even have the ability to do. Right? The mayor doesn't even have the ability to do the things that he's talking about. All right. This is an ideological conversation, right? And ideologically, I agree, okay, with providing cheaper public transportation, with providing cheaper food, right? With providing, free healthcare and free VPK and free Head Start. I agree with these social democratic policies. Okay, that is what I agree with. Okay, does that mean I have to freaking say that? Oh, way back in the day he said something in a speech I have to agree with? No, it just means that right now his policies are attacking the affordability. They're giving like insight, right, to the struggles that real Americans are dealing with, and I can appreciate that, especially in a government that doesn't see a federal government and even a state government in my case that doesn't seem to care about that.
Okay, so I agree with you on that. Let me ask you this then. It's based on that principle you just outlined. So you outlined your principle. I appreciate that. So you're saying, hey, I agree with his current policies, so that's what I'm focused on, not, his long-term, ideological, sees the means to production, because that's not what the election was on. You're saying, hey, I like his rent control. He won fair and square. That's it. I don't. So on that basis, I guess I would ask two questions then. Do you think most economists think rent control actually works? And two, why can't people that voted for Trump, 77 million, for example, they said, well, the border can't be closed, but it is closed now. So a lot of the people voted for that reason, for example. So you're saying, hey, I can separate my support from Mamdani, saying, oh, I like rent control. That sounds like a good idea. I want that rent control, and I don't care, about season means production. How are you able to separate that? But you're like, Trump supporters. If you voted for
Very
Trump,
simply,
everything Trump ever said,
super easy.
Everything he ever supported, you must 100% agree with it, man. Come on.
I don't need you to 100% agree with it. I'm totally okay with the border being closed. I actually incredibly support it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
what I don't support is masked ICE agents going into fucking cities and ripping children out of mothers' hands, or sending people to torture prisons, or putting the military into pepperball pastors. Okay? That's what Donald Trump's doing that I don't support. And let me also be very clear, okay, that rent control does work, and most economists do show that rent control works, okay? But even if they didn't, okay, him saying something about season and mean production, and again, you are taking that out of context, you should really go watch the entire speech. But regardless of that, even if that was his worst policy, okay, if his worst policy was he wants to seize the means of production to create an equitable, return on labor, right? If that was his worst policy, okay, One that most of the people that, that we couldn't, that most people like say couldn't agree. That was the worst thing he did. Okay. That doesn't even crack top 10 of like the worst policies that Donald Trump has done this year. Okay. Not even having to go back. All right. If that was the worst thing he did, Donald Trump sent 200 people and used American tax dollars to pay for people to be sent to a prison. Okay. After committing no crime and having no due process that was world famous for torture. You think I give a fuck about seizing the means of production, dude? If that was Donald Trump's worst policy, I would be a Trump fan.
Okay, so I hear you saying that you disagree with how ICE does their job, basically, that they've been told to do, deport people. Do you think we should deport murderers, child rapists, and stuff, or you think
we should send them to prison? Enough? Why would I want them deported so they can go freaking rape and murder people in another country?
No, the other country should take care of putting them in jail. You think we should pay for
if Donald Trump was just going after criminals, not only would I support it, I would maybe I'd buy a Trump flag. Donald Trump direction from the White House has been specifically to stop going after criminals and start going to Home Depots and 7-Elevens.
I think that was within the administration. Holman, if you read the New York Times, they were talking about that. Holman said, "Hey, let's focus on criminals." The Border Patrol guy was like, "No, we need to go for numbers." Obviously, I think you should go for criminals rather than numbers.
That wasn't the Border Patrol guy. That was Stephen Miller, which is even worse.
Well, sure, he was an ally. Yeah, sure, his ally. So I mean, I'm not. I think you should focus on criminals. But I mean, should U.S. taxpayers pay for housing, convicted, foreign national murderers, or should we make other countries take them back and pay for them? I mean, it's expensive to house criminals, for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, again, we're paying other countries to house them in their prisons, so it doesn't really matter.
We offered $1,000 to go back.
We paid over $6 million to El Salvador just to put people in CCOT, and it was less than 200 people.
No, I'm talking about the CP Home app, saying, hey, $1,000 will fly you back to your country, self-deportation. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think that why would a person who has traveled their whole, saved up, got their whole family across a freaking entire continent in order to make a better life themselves, you think they would leave for $1,000?
Actually, a lot of people have taken it
No, they have actually.
Not. You don't think anybody did?
I know people have. Not a lot of people have. Actually, a very, very small amount of people have.
Okay. Here, I'm going to go back to, I think you made your point on that. Let me ask you last two things about Mamdani before I forget. So
I'm so tired of talking about Mamdani, dude.
No, I know. Your guys'
obsession with Mamdani, like really, like truly, like to be completely honest with you, and this is just me being completely honest, just gives off the worst Islamophobia shit that I've ever fucking heard in my life, right? The stuff I've seen from the right regarding fucking fucking Hannity was on Fox News like, I can't believe that just 24 years after 9/11, they would vote someone like this in, right? Fucking
yeah. Let's talk about. Well, my feed is blowing up with Mamdani. I got liberals blowing up my feed with talking about Mamdani. So I think he's it's biggest in the United States. I mean, you could say Republicans care about him, but I think Democrats do too. I mean, he's a big, charismatic guy. He might be president 10 years. So
if Republicans cared half as much about freaking Donald Trump as they did about Mamdani, they might actually realize how bad they've been duped and how bad they're getting fucked over.
So Mamdani, okay, I'll say this, and I understand you're saying it doesn't matter what he said in the past.
Sir, you are picking apart a single statement from Mamdani in 2021, and Donald Trump is literally in that just in his last presidency, or was quoting Hitler.
Okay, so Jewish hate crimes in New York City, big deal. I'm sure they're a big deal, and I agree that. No, I'm going to ask you. He praised the Holy Land Five. He said, "I love them." 2017, he's never apologized. Do you think he should apologize?
Donald Trump quoted Mein Kampf and has never apologized, and you still support him.
If he did that, he should apologize. I'm skeptical that he ever actually did. I mean, I don't think you're thinking he's actually read that book. I doubt it.
His literal white ex-wife went on record and said he kept it on his nightstand.
Wow, I've never heard that, but It's still whataboutism, though. So Mamdani, he said he loved the Holy Land Five were convicted Hamas fundraisers who were held civilly liable by a federal court for murdering a boy. Okay, and Mamdani in 2017 said he loved the Holy Land Five, and Jewish hate crimes in New York City are a huge deal. And Mamdani, his supporters don't support a two-state solution. I support a two-state solution. You say you support a two-state solution. So I'm really skeptical of Mamdani, since he literally just a few years ago, 2017, as an adult, he praised the Holy Land Five. He said he loved them. And these were convicted Hamas terrorist fundraisers who were held liable by a federal court for murdering somebody. So I think that's a crazy thing to do, right? You think Mamdani should apologize?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Mom, I said, hey, I said a bunch of crazy nonsense before I became mayor. I apologize about all that nonsense. That would be great. I would love that.
Yeah, Donald Trump literally took a $400 million jet from people that he accused specifically of supporting terrorism.
I think people don't take him exactly literally, but do you think Mamdani should apologize?
Oh, gotcha. We should take Mamdani literally and not Donald Trump.
Yeah, Mamdani says he's a very intellectual guy.
When Mamdani does it, it's the worst thing in the world. But when Trump does it, guys, I don't think we should really take him literally, okay? And I think your argument was just, what? He's too stupid to take literally? Is that what I just heard?
What I was saying was, I don't think that he's likely to be quoting... I'm skeptical of that. If he did do that, he should apologize. Would you join me in saying Mamdani should apologize for praising terrorist fundraisers who were held liable in federal court for murdering somebody? He says he loves them.
Insane.
2017.
Sir, I would have, first of all, after you took the last thing out of context, I really can't trust much of what you're saying on what Mamdani says.
You never said why it was out of context. You just said it's out of context. You said it like 5 or 6 times, but you never said, I would love to hear that it was out of context. Prove it to me it's out of context.
Sure. I will prove it to you by telling you to go watch the speech. Okay? You said you're in your 40s.
No, have you watched the whole speech?
Okay. Yes, I have. Okay.
Okay, tell me and the viewers. Tell me why it was out of context.
Sir, are you listening?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. I do not fucking care to listen to you talk about something Mamdani said 4 years ago when you literally support Trump, who is fucking quoting Mein Kampf, who brags about sexually assaulting fucking women, who has fucking sexualized a 10-year-old, sexualized his fucking daughter, been adjudicated as fucking somebody who as a rapist, and also fucking has 34 fucking felony counts. I do not give a shit to listen to you try to pick out one thing that Mamdani says while still supporting Donald Trump, who literally fucking robbed children with fucking cancer, who cannot run a fucking charity in the state of fucking New York, okay, because he defrauded a children's cancer charity. Okay, I do not care to listen to you be so fucking disingenuous just because Mamdani is fucking brown and fucking Muslim, okay, that you are going to sit here and try to pick apart everything that this fucking man has ever fucking said while simultaneously supporting somebody who literally just on television said that fucking Tylenol fucking causes autism, okay? I do not want to hear it from you. Okay, because your entire platform and your entire statement is insanely disingenuous. Okay, so if you would like me to listen to your critiques on Mamdani, then how about you start critiquing the person that you actually support and the person that you actually freaking voted for 3 times, you said. Okay, how about you start critiquing that first, and then I'll listen to your critiques on Mamdani. Sound good?
Yeah, I don't agree with all that. Most of that stuff you were talking about, I don't agree with that with the Trump anyway.
Of course you didn't, because how dare you actually think critically when it comes to the guy that you support, right?
No, I think you misunderstood me.
You literally just asked me to fucking talk about freaking, like, literally the apologizing Mamdani supporting terrorists when Donald Trump literally just freaking pardoned the CEO of Binance who was convicted.
But you know that's whataboutism.
Sir, who was convicted of helping groups like Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, and Hamas traffic money. And you still support Donald Trump, but you want all of a sudden this apology from Mamdani. Give me a fucking break, dude.
No, I hear you. I get it. You're saying that whataboutism is cool, but I already mentioned before. I was in the context of supporting Trump is when it comes around election time. I got to vote back last
Gotcha.
year. I won't get to vote again
Gotcha.
for
So
several
you only
more
support
years.
terrorism in election years. Copy.
Okay. So yeah,
This isn't
I
an
mean,
election year,
okay.
so now he gets to stop caring about it, unless it's actually somebody that he that he likes.
Well, I've already agreed with most of your criticism of Trump anyway. The other ones, I mean, obviously, not every single one you mentioned, but some of the criticism, obviously, I'd have the same criticism of him. But yeah, my feed is blowing up with Mamdani stuff mainly. But I hear what you're saying. You're saying you can't criticize Mamdani if you support Trump. You're saying unless someone is morally pure, then they
Sir.
could criticize them. Is that kind of your argument?
No, sir. I'm saying that you are consistently trying to freaking demonize somebody who isn't even your elected official, while literally excusing the person who is, and not only just your elected official, but that you also voted for. Okay.
Okay, but you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So-
I got it.
so-
You
but
can
it- but
defend
instead of-
Mamdani, but you can't criticize him. And it has nothing to do with. He's as white as I am, but you're saying he's brown or something. I mean, okay, so he has heritage. He was born in Uganda. I mean, who cares, right?
Apparently, most Republicans.
I'd like to see some studies on that. Apparently, I mean, he's as pale as I am. So okay, but okay. So you're talking. When I got in your stream originally, you were talking about you're doing the whole atheist, hail Satan, rage thing. So I was curious about how do you look at someone like Mamdani. He says, "Hey, I'm 100% sincere
Insane.
Muslim," and you're kind of
bro,
earlier. You're like, "Well, hey,
I'm so sorry for the confusion.
go ahead."
Our conversation is over now. You have proven to be disingenuous, and I have had way more patience than I feel like I even like that you deserved right now. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have
All right.
had so much the fact that it took me 45 minutes to say that I should write a book, okay, on
Okay.
patience after that. Okay? Really should. All right? So
All right,
I
you want
hope
to avoid
that you
the
have
question.
sure, whatever
you're
you
gonna
want to
avoid
say,
it.
sweetheart. I'm not a fucking teenager, which I'm sure you're used to talking to. Your little quips are not going to make me want to talk to you more. Okay?
Okay, you're
Awesome.
raging. Okay.
So, have
All right.
whatever day you deserve, which I'm sure is a bad one. Okay? And bye-bye now.
No, it was.
No one cares. Goodness gracious. Holy crap. Y'all make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to run through a few super chats real quick. I appreciate that. Lees, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Big W's in the chat for that. Brent said, tag me in, coach. Dude, phone lines are open when they're open, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Ben, thank you so much for the jewels. I really appreciate that. Abiola says, why argue with the global corporate machine? I'm not even sure what that means. Maura, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Ben, thank you so much for the goat again. Freddie, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. So we all knew Mamdani would drive them crazy. Oh, he's making them so angry. He's making the whole Midwest crazy, I guess. It's nuts. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Lovely said the obsession with Mamdani is wild. The power this man has over Trumpers is insane. I live in New York State, but not in New York City, and glad he won. Absolutely. I think a lot of us are really glad he won. I think a lot of us are very, very glad. Luis from Puerto Rico, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said, oh my God, with the obsession with Mamdani for one thing, what about the convicted felon in the White House? Straight up, Luis. I don't know how you have the right to even talk about this guy. That's just absolutely nuts. Thank you so much, Luis. Jason, thank you so much for the $5. Said, I find some joy in the irony that the Trumpers still say Mamdani's name as I don't even know how to pronounce what you just said. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Luis, thank you so much for the $10. Says Polly's on fire. I will record this live. Please do. Also, it's also available at all times. And Shay, thank you so much for the $20. Says W Polly. Thank you so much, Shay. Big W's in the chat for everybody who contributed. If you'd like to support, I do have super chats open. I'd just like to see. I like to put them up between callers. I also have my Pay links, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. At Polypolitics if you'd like to support that way too. Thank you so much. Oh, and Laura, thank you so much for the $2 over on Venmo. Says Trump just pardoned an actual convicted T Group financial supporter, and how is being held liable believable for these? I don't understand it. It's crazy, the support, dude. Like, it's wild, man, dude. Just elect a Muslim, they will lose their whole minds. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, how old are you?
Do what?
How old are you?
Insane.
25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
A little bit here and there?
A little bit here and there. I mean, nobody's ever going to support 100% of anybody.
So which part do you support? Is that his horrible economic policies or his horrible domestic policies?
A little bit of both. Really, Second Amendment is a big thing for me.
Okay.
I say Second Amendment, my 401k's up. Inflation still exists, but inflation will always exist. But it is down.
Gotcha. So you are a big Second Amendment guy.
Yeah, you could say that.
Awesome. So what was the most restrictive policy on the Second Amendment that has happened in the last 16 years?
Do what?
From the federal government, what is the most restrictive policy on the Second Amendment that's happened in the last 16 years?
I would honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, it was Trump in his last term with the bump stocks.
Awesome. So Donald Trump is the only one that freaking put in a restrictive policy, but you support Trump because of that?
I support him on Second Amendment because he didn't try to take away the firearm itself.
Awesome. And who did?
I mean, there's been numerous threats from, I would say.
Sorry, better question. Was it Biden or Obama that tried to take away your guns, and which policy did it?
All right, so Obama and Biden were not running. It was Kamala Harris versus Trump. She explicitly said, "I'm coming after your AR-15s."
Yeah, she said that in a Senate race. Like, again, what is up with you guys just finding one thing from a decade ago to try to pin on somebody?
That wasn't a decade ago. It was
however long it was ago. You know, she completely changed her stance on that, right?
I mean,
you do realize she was a gun carrying, gun owner, right?
I mean, everybody can carry guns and still want to hinder the Second Amendment.
Okay, so what policy did she do as what policy did she
carry a little? Do what?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out where she said, "I'm coming after your AR-15s," because I've never actually seen this.
I mean, I could DM it to you after this if you really needed it, but she did. She explicitly said, "I'm coming after your AR-15s."
Yeah, I know that she freaking talked about mandatory buybacks at one point and then changed her stance to voluntary buybacks, but that was about it. But I don't believe she ever said that. Yeah.
I mean, she did. She explicitly, "I'm coming after your AR-15s." You got a computer in front of you. Hell, I got a computer in front of me.
Okay, let's take a look.
I gotta load it up. Yeah, I mean, the Second Amendment's a big thing for me. Like I said, nobody's gonna support 100% of anybody. One of the big things that I wanted to speak with you about is you said that.
Just real quick, I just typed that in. Kamala Harris has not said she's coming after your AR-15s. It literally, it was literally just post misrepresents Kamala Harris's quote on gun safety laws. Let's see. Claim Democratic U.S. Senator Kamala Harris once said if elected president, she would issue an executive order to send police to the homes of anyone who did not surrender their guns. That's false. Let's see. Yep. Nope. She never said that.
Never said that. All right. Fair enough. The main thing that I wanted to touch with you on is you said that prices are up. I would like to know what person elected would you ever want in where prices would go down?
I'm
I mean,
sorry,
'cause
I'm
fair,
not
I mean,
sure
because
about your question. What are you trying to ask me?
healthy, because inflation will never hit 0%. Well, I guess technically it could hit 0%, but if it goes into the negatives, we're in a deflating economy.
Sure, I'm not the
You
one
don't
that
want
said I
that.
was going to bring down prices. I'm not the one that said I even advocated for bringing down prices. Donald Trump
No,
said he
but
was
you did
bringing down
say,
your
but
grocery
you did
prices.
say,
What I am doing is holding Donald Trump to his word, something that I wish Trump supporters would do.
oh no, I mean, look, the prices aren't down.
But did Donald
Technically, I
Trump
mean,
say
well,
if I elect you, if
technically,
you elect me president, I will bring your prices down?
in what context though? Because inflation technically is down.
What's the current inflation rate?
Um,
Sorry, the current inflation rate is
I don't know.
3%. When Donald Trump took
Yeah,
office, the inflation rate was also 3%. Okay, so it's not
and what was it
okay.
last? But what was it last year?
Sir, I mean, it
But
varied all the way down. It got into the
four-year,
it got into
but
the
the 4-year
twos
average. But why can't you go into a 4-year average?
because the 4-year average includes when the world's inflation rate was at 10% due to COVID.
I mean, yeah, COVID did happen.
COVID
COVID
did
happened.
happen, and it created an
COVID did
inflation
happen.
across the entire world. The world's inflation rate went over 10% because of all the different things that were happening worldwide, right? Especially with the shutdown of manufacturing, the stoppage of durables, like all sorts of stuff, shutdown of shipping lanes, the increase in price of oil due to the OPEC Plus deal. There was a whole bunch of things that were happening that caused the inflation rate to rise. Right. And it rose in every single country across the entire planet. So I don't give Biden credit for something that happened due to a pandemic that it went across the world. I do give him credit for how well he recovered the American economy from it. Just like it would be unfair for me to say that Donald Trump in his first term lost 2 million jobs, knowing that 7 million jobs were lost because of COVID. Right. So what I say is that Donald Trump gained 5 million jobs in his first term, because it would be disingenuous for me to blame the COVID job loss on Donald Trump because Donald Trump didn't cause COVID. The same way, I don't give Joe Biden credit for the inflation rise due to COVID because Joe Biden also didn't create COVID.
I mean, I think we can both agree that both administrations absolutely falsify numbers on job loss and job gain. I think we can both agree on that.
No, we cannot. Nope. Donald Trump, before he had, if you look at the way that job gains are calculated, right? Up before COVID, Donald Trump had a job rise of 5 million jobs, which is pretty good. Not bad. No hate. Okay. Those are decent job numbers. Okay. Over 3 years or so. Then during COVID, 7 million jobs were lost. Under the Biden administration, 7 million jobs, those 7 million jobs were gained back, plus in excess of 9 million jobs, right? For a total of 16 million jobs. All right. So those numbers weren't inflated. And then if you look at his job numbers right now, Donald Trump's job numbers are horrible.
I would say job numbers right now are horrible. I mean, nobody really wants to work. I think COVID as a whole kind of fucked this nation and made people lazy, and you can't really blame any administration on that. I don't think there's any really policy that you can blame on making people lazy.
Donald Trump, since he became in office, has had almost 1 million jobs cut from the job market since he came in office, with like 100,000 just in October. And yes, I can't directly blame Donald Trump's policies for that.
Yeah, I mean, tariffs did hinder that at first, absolutely. But I'll speak for my personal life. Tariffs are going to help my company get jobs back that should have never been lost to another country.
Well, sure, sir. I am not saying that tariffs can't help an individual company or even some multiple individual companies. What it's going to hurt is American small businesses across the board. And what it's going to do is hurt American consumers across the board, right? Like that's like if gas prices raise through the fucking roof in the United States tomorrow, if they triple, the majority of Americans are going to freaking be hurt, but gas stations, big oil, I assume, will be doing great, right? You can always find, there was people that shorted the housing market in 2008 when people, tens of millions of people lost their homes and we went into a recession. But there were still certain people that benefited from it, right?
I mean,
So,
there's gonna be people that benefit from any walk.
and
of
that's
life,
exactly what I'm saying, sir. So while your individual company might benefit, and I don't know whether it will or it wouldn't, right? I'm not concerned with your company. I'm concerned with the American economy and the American people.
Well, this company just so happens to be UAW Auto Workers, which is one of the companies that fuels America, probably bigger than I would say almost any. I mean, people complained about that before they complained about any. I mean, tariffs was supposed to hurt the auto industry bigger than anybody, but we're seeing a complete opposite right now. Yes, it did slow down, and technically jobs are lost because I will be on unemployment due to a layoff. But that's to gain work in the future. Like, we already have it set in stone. We are taking vehicles back from Mexico. So yes, there are jobs lost. Yes, people are unemployed. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of people laid off, waiting for new work to come back that should not have been lost. You still there?
Like physically, yes. Mentally, I think
Okay.
I'm trying to find a happy place.
Okay, I mean, you can. I mean, but okay,
Hold on, no,
whenever-
just
when-
1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Did you just say that you are currently laid off from United Auto Workers due to Donald Trump's tariffs, but you still think it's a good thing?
because right now, under Biden's policies, when we had the $7,500 tax credit, every singular electric vehicle that rolled off of our line.
Sir. We can no. We can get into whatever you like about specific policy. I would love to do it, sir.
Answer your question, yes.
You said you are now laid off due to Donald Trump's tariffs from United Auto Workers, and you think that is a good thing.
Yes. I can explain if you let me.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, dude. I just have
Okay.
to. I
get paid 95%.
You get paid zero. You're laid off.
No,
You get paid
$95.
$0 because you don't have a job.
I get paid 95. You can look up our international contract. I get paid 95% to be laid off.
Okay. Well, that's great.
You don't have
okay,
to believe it. You don't have to believe
no,
it. but
sir. I
also
truly
it's my base.
do not care if that's the truth. Then awesome, cool. Whatever. Okay. Awesome.
I mean, you can
So-
be in denial, or you can at least accept the fact that I'm telling you the truth. I don't have to make that up. All right.
No, sir. I just don't
That's
care
one of the
either
things. You
way.
can look up the international contract that was actually signed by a Democrat.
Sir, what I'm not saying that you're lying, you're right, or you're wrong. I'm saying I don't know and I don't care.
I mean, you said I'm making $0, but that's not true.
Cool. I do not know and I do not care.
No, I mean, if you don't know, I don't think you should probably speak on it. Maybe.
Okay.
Just maybe.
Maybe.
But let me get into it.
No, we're not. We're not getting into that.
Maybe.
Are you done with your whining about this? Because I do not give a shit. Besides the fact that you are pretty much just living off of government programs and just freeloading.
No, my paycheck comes from General Motors.
Yeah, and General Motors' paycheck comes from the U.S. taxpayer because we subsidize the fuck out of them. But regardless of any of that.
Okay, so can I get into the EV tax credits or no?
Oh, I would love to get into the EV tax
and how
credits.
that
Okay,
hurt us?
but I just
And how it hurt us?
what's up? Yeah, sure. How
Yeah,
did the EV tax credit hurt us? Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Okay, I'll explain it to you. Every single electric vehicle that we pushed off the line, which is the Cadillac Vistic, the Cadillac Lyric, every singular one that we rolled off the line, whether it was able to be sold or not, we got $7,500 per vehicle. Okay? What can that possibly do to a company? I don't know. Yes, I was making good money when we were rolling all these cars out because they didn't care if they were getting sold. Well, that turned to bite us in the ass. And now we have tens of thousands of vehicles that are in shit condition because nobody wants to buy EVs. They were forced on everybody. And now, thanks to the tariffs, and Mexico cannot afford to send vehicles over here anymore, we are now getting vehicles back gas vehicles, ones that people want to purchase. That is how
So,
business works.
so just to be clear, Cadillac is getting
Yeah.
paid $7,500, which I'm pretty sure doesn't cover like the wheels and tires on a Cadillac, to make a Cadillac so that they can make them and not sell them and keep them in inventory for no reason.
And then use them as tax write-offs the next year. Yes, that's how that works.
Gotcha.
I mean, you can look this up. This having vehicles left over.
Yeah,
to
no,
scrap
I
has
don't.
been
I don't.
a
I don't
thing-
really
that's
think
been
I
a
need
thing
to.
for decades.
I don't
That's
really
been a thing
think
for
I need
decades.
to. I don't think that I would need to. I will tell you this: if that is truly happening, then I understand why so many of my tax scholars go to the U.S. auto industry, because apparently the U.S. auto industry is the dumbest people that have ever existed on the entire face of the whole planet. Okay, because if they're building cars because of a check that doesn't near cover the cost of the car, in order to freaking get a tax write-off at the end of the year, which they could easily get without making the cars, okay, because there's tons of ways they could get tax write-offs without doing that, then GM is truly the worst businessmen
It's insane.
that have ever existed on the face of the planet. I think I could save GM currently by just telling them to not do that, okay, because that is horrible business practices. Just
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, isn't it?
yeah, but
Pretty
that wouldn't be
fucking
the
horrible. It's pretty fucking
EV
horrible.
tax credits problem, sir. What that would be
It was
is just
70
having
it was
people in GM
$7,500.
who have never taken like a single business class at. Sorry, let me rephrase that. That would be that the people that are running GM have never graduated high school, okay, and don't know how money works, all right, or really how anything works ever, because that's the most insane shit I've ever heard in my whole life.
I mean, or you can look at it as in maybe the people that made these decisions, J.P. Clausen, Mary Barra, all these people, who do they support and who were they getting kickback from by voting for certain parties?
Yeah, I
Including
don't
the
care
USW
about
president.
who they vote for, okay? They could vote Democrat, Republican, shit. They could vote for the flying
Yeah,
spaghetti
but it was
monster as long as I'm
Democrat
concerned,
policies
sir. If you
But it's
truly,
Democrat
sir,
policies, though.
sir, if you truly believe what you're saying is true, okay, then like I'm kind of sorry for you, okay?
But it's happening though. I mean, you can just do simple research and find this out.
Sure, I
Look,
would love
I'm
to.
not going to be one of the people who calls in here talking about shit about Mondami. I'm not going to call in here talking shit about all these people. All of them are fucking dumb. Okay, all of them. But I also can't sit back and let you say that Trump is ruining the economy because prices went up. Prices will continue to rise. It's called healthy inflation. The moment inflation disappears, everything that you own is now worth less the next
Sir,
day than it was the day before.
Donald Trump
that's
was
called
just on
inflation.
stage like 3 weeks ago and said he ended inflation.
He ended the rise of inflation.
Nope, he did not say he ended the rise of inflation, which again would still be a
Ending
lie.
inflation
It
can
would
mean
still be a lie,
multiple
sir.
things.
It would still be a lie, even if he said he ended the
Inflation
rise
is-
of
what's the
inflation.
inflation?
But that's not what he
What is the
said.
inflation rate?
3%. I
What's
already
the
told you
inflation rate?
this.
And it's
But Donald
down
Trump,
on average,
it was
2%.
3% when he took
And
office.
it's
It's
down-
3%
and it's
now.
down
Okay.
2.4%. But it's
Gotcha.
down 2.4%.
Gotcha, sir. Gotcha. So 3% is somehow 2.4% lower than 3%. Got it.
No,
Cool.
No, it was. if
Donald
you
Trump
think
said,
inflation was
sir, I'm going to
3%
get
under
this
Biden,
sentence out. Sir, I'm going to get this sentence out whether you like it or not. Okay? Donald Trump did not say, I ended the rise of inflation. Donald Trump said, I ended inflation. There is no more inflation. Inflation doesn't exist anymore. Okay? Which means we were at 0% inflation. Either that or he had it erased from the dictionary. I don't know which one is stupider. Okay? Really don't know. All right? But he's the one who said he was lowering inflation. He's the one who said he was going to get rid of inflation. And now he's also the one that has said that he has now abolished inflation. Okay? So I am not arguing whether ending inflation would be good or not good. That really has nothing to do with my comments. Okay? My comment is that Donald Trump said he was going to do it or said he's done it, and that is not true because Donald Trump is a liar who never accomplishes
how
any
does
of the things that he says he's going to do.
So how does somebody end inflation?
Ask Trump, dude. I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, ending inflation means inflation rate doesn't go up. That's what that means.
Cool, man. How does he
Doesn't
do
mean
it? You tell me. Is this like his replacement for the ACA? It's just like a concept of a plan.
When somebody says I will end inflation, that does not mean the next day the economy is deflated. That's not what that means.
Donald Trump said, I will end inflation. I said he will lower your grocery prices and end inflation on day one. That is what Donald Trump claimed.
Yeah, and you've seen it. Just because it's not 0% or less does not mean inflation is not ended.
That's literally what it means. That's
The inflation rate is down now, but the inflation
rate is the same it was when he took office.
But it's down from 2022. You can't just the same way you say you can't specifically pick
It's
out.
down from 2022 by that same metric. By that same metric, Joe Biden's economy was insane good.
Hey, look, the way you said you can't go and pick and choose what people say decades ago, you can't pick and choose.
I love how
specific
it really does amaze me. Like Trump supporters, it really does amaze me. Your guys' ability to just ignore COVID when it comes to Donald, or to just like if it's Donald Trump was president, then like, dude, COVID was the worst thing. It's the only reason he, didn't accomplish everything he ever dreamed of and loved. But the second it's Biden, it's like COVID just doesn't exist. It's just this mythical thing that just like we never talk about. Just like, oh, well, Biden was president. All this crazy shit happened. What did COVID happen? La 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 la. La 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 la. Biden, but oh Joe Biden, but oh Joe Biden. Oh my goodness, oh Joe Biden. Biden did this. Biden, job bad. Biden, COVID, no. Biden.
Have I said anything bad about Joe Biden? Obama had the best inflation rate that's ever been in my lifetime. I can speak good on people.
Sir, you're just comparing things that were COVID related numbers and trying to put them on Biden. It's ridiculous, dude.
401ks are up. Inflation.
401ks were up significantly up, dude. And Donald Trump specifically said that the stock market was not a good indicator of the economy. Donald Trump said that.
401ks are up.
401ks hit records literally the last 2 years that Biden was president. And they're just continuing to hit.
But 401ks are up now.
Cool. And Donald Trump said that is not a good judge of the economy.
So are you physically able to give credit for anything? Because I have criticized Trump. I have praised other people. There's no possible way, like statistically, there's no possible way that you can really disagree with every singular thing that Trump has done.
No, I don't know. I think Operation Warp Speed was. I think Operation Warp Speed was excellent.
Horrible.
Yeah, I think
the people who's appointed are horrible. Pam Bondi's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, sir. I'm trying to give Donald Trump credit for things.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Operation Warp Speed was excellent. I thought the idea of friggin' boosting up our ability to create a vaccine at a very high rate could have saved a lot of lives. It's unfortunate that he went against that and friggin' got a bunch of people to start taking ivermectin or some crazy shit after that, right? But the idea of it was very good. I think that we've had things like in his first term, there was a policy that increased penalties on animal abuse. I think that was excellent, right? I think that, currently, I don't have to take my shoes off for TSA. I think that that's pretty cool. I think that, even though his ceasefire is a fucking joke, I think actually putting the screws to Netanyahu instead of just letting Netanyahu walk all over him like he did earlier and like what he did to Biden, I think that those are also awesome. You know what I'm saying?
All
And
right,
if you want me to be, and if you want me to, hold on, sir, hold on, sir. And if you want me to be like truly, like honestly, like if you want me to be like real honest, like real honest, I don't like paper straws. Yeah, I think they suck and they disintegrate in your mouth. And so like I was pretty big fan of just not having those around. Okay. Unfortunately, the things that Donald Trump does, okay, that are actually good, don't really truly help like normal Americans. And that's what I'm looking for, sir. Like the whole
do
thing.
you really think that any president will ever do anything that'll help normal people?
Yes.
I mean, it kind of takes a fucking shitty person to even get into that political power, no?
Yeah, you mean like creating infrastructure, the largest infrastructure bill in American history, things that literally went to like roads, bridges, airports, fiber connections, all sorts of things that literally helped everyday Americans to live better?
Yeah, that should be handled at the state level, not the federal level.
Yeah, it was handled at the federal level by Joe Biden, and states are
Yes,
taking that money
be.
and use. No, but sir, you're saying is anything that they could do that actually helps American people, and that is what they can do to help American people. Okay, one way of doing that is investing in infrastructure. That's what Biden did, right? You want to talk about things that helped American people, the ACA under the Obama administration. While it has its flaws, and there are flaws, I'm not saying that they're not. Okay, it literally helps freaking tens of millions of Americans actually be able to afford healthcare. And so I think that that's a pretty awesome thing. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at the policies under like the Obama administration, the Biden administration, things like the PACT Act, things like the Veterans Access to Care Act, right? Things like, like even the Chips and Sciences Act, those things do help everyday Americans. All right. And that's what I'm talking about. And to be completely honest with you, the policies that come through should help Americans more. I think that's why people get so excited over people like Mamdani, which that last guest was, having an aneurysm over. But I think that really the reason why people get so excited over Mamdani, all right, is because, right, he's actually talking about policies that actually deal with things like affordability, that have to do with housing, that have to do with healthcare, that have to do with childcare. These are things that are actually important to Americans, right? That's what I want to see, right? I want to see things that are actually helpful for Americans. And people like Mamdani, they're doing that. People like AOC and Bernie, they're doing that, right? And while we still have these people like freaking Chuck Schumer who just need to get the fuck out of fucking office, but you still have people like that are still running this party, and so the Democratic Party is not perfect. It's not in any way, shape, or form, right? But yeah,
no party, no federal agency at all is going to be perfect by any means at all. All of them. People scream that they want less federal power. They say they want no kings, yet they want federal government to get all the money from them. I
real
don't
quick.
get it from
Hey, Mondo, if you're still here, thank you so much for the flying jets too. I'm so sorry I didn't say it. I was in like deep conversation earlier and I forgot about it. So Mondo, if you're here, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Sorry, I just wanted to say that before he left out.
To get back to my original point, gun ownership. All right, why should I trust voting in a left wing? I'm not gonna say a liberal. I'm not gonna say communist, socialist, any of that. Why should I vote in somebody who, when you look at big city after big city after big city, all of them have the strictest gun laws, and you can barely buy anything anymore?
Who creates laws?
Why should I trust voting those people in?
Who creates laws?
Do what?
Who creates laws?
State lawmakers.
Right. So cities don't create laws. Thank you so much, Allie, for that trampoline. I appreciate that. So not cities?
I mean, city municipalities absolutely can weigh in on certain gun laws because we live in a constitutional republic, and these states have the say.
Cities can create ordinances, right?
Yes.
Yes, they can. The laws in these cities are created by the states. Okay.
Yes.
And if you look at states,
sir,
if you look at states like that usually have the highest levels of gun violence, okay, they are cities, okay, that are sitting in red states that have very, very loose gun laws. And even if it's not that, it's usually cities that are very close to a border of a state that has very loose gun laws.
Yeah, I won't argue that. But yes, there's obviously more guns in red states, but that's my point specifically. Why should I trust giving the other side my vote when I see you can't go into a fucking gun store in a lot of places in Colorado and get the same shit that I can build myself here?
Yeah, it's easy, sir, because gun violence is the number one preventable cause of children in this country.
Yes.
Do you know what other
is.
country? Do you know what other country gun violence is the number one preventable cause of children death in?
What was that question?
Do you know what other country that, like other industrialized country has that problem?
What century?
There aren't any. We're the only ones. Okay? We're the only country, okay, where children, okay, have to go through active shooter drills when they go to school or any of this like crap, right? We're the only country where this happens, all right? And so,
Okay,
sir,
can I ask a
and-
question on that?
yeah, you can in a second as soon as I'm finished with my statement. Okay? So here's the thing, sir. For some reason, you think that your ability to own any gun that fucking exists on the planet or whatever, or you should
I
be
didn't,
able
I didn't say that.
Sir,
I didn't say that.
sir,
I didn't say that.
I promise
don't
you I will
misquote me,
give
though.
you a chance to respond.
I know, but don't misquote me. I didn't say any.
Okay, be quiet now. Thank you. Okay?
I mean, you don't have to be rude. I've been
You,
very
you,
respectful. I'm
you,
not
you,
like
neither
that.
do you, sir, but I've been cut off twice in the same sentence.
Yeah, but don't misquote me.
All right, well then be quiet.
I
Thank
didn't say
you.
any gun. I mean, Form 2s should not be handed out.
All right, you're being
to
muted now
anybody.
because I'm finishing my sentence whether you like it or not. All right? So what I was saying is that you think, all right, that you should be able to go into a gun store and be like, "Oh, why can't I buy all this stuff in Colorado that I can buy here?" Well, sir, because all of that shit probably isn't really fucking necessary and it's just shit you fucking want just because you fucking want it. And while I appreciate your hobbies, I really do appreciate your ability to, to be able to protect your home, to be able to protect your family, to hunt, even for sport, right? For recreational shooting, whatever you want to do with that. I don't have an issue with any of that stuff. Okay. The problem is that we live in this country, all right, where for some reason they think that your right to own a gun is somehow more important than the right for children to live. And that's just fucking insane. Okay. It's insane. If you look at like the 1990s assault rifle ban, right? Or assault weapons ban, right? We literally just stopped like the production of new assault rifles, and school shootings and mass shootings went down significantly in the country. It took like 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So we had school shootings go down. We had freaking mass shootings go down just off of one law that didn't take a singular gun from a singular person in this entire country. Yet when things are projected like that, when things are talked about to become policies like this, right? Oh, it's so anti-Second Amendment. It's all this. I mean, you literally started this entire conversation by coming up saying a quote from Kamala Harris about taking your AR-15s that didn't even exist. It's the fear mongering that everybody that the right uses in order to say the left is taking your guns when it's just simply not true. Okay. And it's super crazy to me that literally Donald Trump, who's probably never held a gun in his whole life, okay, who literally is on record saying that he should take guns away from people before they have due process, who passed the most restrictive law on guns in the last like 16 years, when he's surrounded by Democrats, is somehow better for your Second Amendment, okay, than anybody else. That's insane, especially when you're talking about somebody like Kamala Harris, who's a gun owner, whose literal vice presidential candidate was the freaking congressional sharpshooter, right? Like years running, right? Like it's crazy that the NRA makes so much money based off of fear mongering you. It's fucking wild. It really is fucking crazy. And it's just sad that you guys continue to exacerbate this rhetoric.
I mean, look, it's all perception. I mean, CNN, you say that Kamala Harris did not say that. CNN has an article that, yes, Congress, I give 100 days to pass gun laws, that she will ban imports of AR-15s. I mean, it's on CNN.
I'm reading the article. You're saying right here. That's not what you said. Yeah. You said that Kamala Harris is quoted as saying, "I am coming after your AR-15s," which is not what she said. The CNN article is right here. I can put it on the screen for everybody. Okay? It's not that she didn't say anything about AR-15s. You're literally miscategorizing what she said.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's right here. Senator Kamala Harris on Wednesday announced that if she is elected president, she will ban the importation of all AR-15 style weapons by executive actors and Congress fails to act in the first 100 days. Harris made the announcements that assault weapons are designed to kill a lot of people in a very short period of time, which they are. And I think that has gotten to be something that is understood that we can no longer afford to allow people to make this a partisan issue. Those guns, those assault weapons do not discriminate and do not determine, okay, is the person pointing it at, is it a Democrat or is it a Republican, right? Like, yes, she had freaking, things that were about taking away very certain freaking types of guns, right? The importation of certain type of guns. But that doesn't mean that she was coming after your AR-15 or I don't own one, but about mine or about anybody else's, right? It was like, it's a misrepresentation.
We saw the same trend in Australia. You saw it in Germany under Hitler. You saw it, Stalin did it. I mean, it was kind of like there's always a first step. They're not going to come and take all of them at once. It's impossible. But there are steps to it.
Gotcha. So this is what's called a slippery slope fallacy. Okay. And I promise you that we are much closer. That Donald Trump's policies are much closer to putting us towards Mussolini or Hitler than any removal of a gun.
But the first thing that they all did was disarm.
How about this?
The populace.
Yeah, you know who else right now currently has, gun laws that doesn't, that makes their country safer?
Who?
Name a fucking country that is a industrialized or, what we used to call first world country. All of them. Every single fucking one of them, dude. All of them.
Yeah, they have less gun violence, but more blunt object and knife violence.
Yeah, the UK has pretty much got gun bans for the most part, and they have a lower knife violence rate than we do.
We have a societal problem in America.
No, we don't. We have a gun problem in America.
So you think if they disappeared, violence would stop?
Of course, violence wouldn't stop. It would be significantly reduced.
I think it would come in different ways.
It would come in different ways at a significantly reduced rate.
My question that I tried to ask earlier, though, is when there's a problem anywhere in the world, when America tries to play fucking father, why is the first thing we do arm that nation via our money and our weapons? If they're so important.
Give an example.
To society. Ukraine.
We arm them because they're in a literal war.
Okay. So at what point do we arm ourselves to be prepared for it? I mean, I think if they were
when we're in a literal war. See, sir, the weapons that we're arming them with are for war.
And if the left
we're not at war, or at least trying not to be. Donald Trump's trying to, make that go away as fast as possible.
Yeah, there's pretty high tension.
And who are we arming in Ukraine?
Citizens.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, if you want, yes, you are 100% correct in the fact that their military are citizens.
Because the men are forced to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called a draft, sir. That's not anything that we've had. We had a draft in Vietnam. That was like 50 years ago, dude.
Yeah, but Ukraine isn't really a draft. They don't take the young men; they take the older men.
Sir, however their draft system works is literally none of my fucking business. We're arming their military.
But it doesn't make sense.
And I am a huge fan of also arming our military. Huge fan. I think our military should have the best, most sophisticated weapons that exist on this planet. Okay, I want them to have Like if we can make it, I want that gun from that one movie where the dude swings his arm and like the bullet goes around corners or whatever. I want them to have all that shit. Okay, I want them to be able to see through walls. I don't care. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. All right, we're not talking about arming a military for war. Okay.
But we are now.
Well, we are now
Because
because you switched the subject.
No, because I brought it. It was a question I wanted to ask about 10 minutes ago, but you wouldn't let me. It's just ironic to me that they scream take away ours, take away US's, but then send them to other places, or leave them in other places.
No one's trying to take away your guns.
I beg to differ. Gavin Newsom banned many models of SIG handguns in LA.
First of all,
For what reason?
First of all, it wasn't in LA, it was in California. Second of all, it wasn't SIGs, it was Glocks.
No, it was
No, it was
SIG,
Glocks.
The carry.
Nope,
it's
it
the
was
carry,
Glocks.
It's the duty pistol.
you don't even know what type you don't even know what type of gun we're talking. You just banned Glocks. It literally just happened.
I'm not talking about what just happened. I'm talking about when he issued Glocks or SIGs to LA County Police, he banned them from citizen purchase.
And why is that?
I really don't know.
So you don't know the reasoning behind it, yet you're saying it
because to me,
happened.
there's no reasoning.
Oh, gotcha. So you don't know the reason. So Gavin just came out and said, we're just gonna do this. Let's see.
I mean,
did
essentially, that's what happened.
California ban SIGs in LA? Let's see. No, oh no, that's not what I was asking you. I was talking about a dog. No, California did not ban all SIG Sauer guns. The state's recent ban, AB 1127, permits the sale of certain semi-automatic handguns that can be converted into automatic weapons. With the ban taking effect July 1, 2026, our SIG Sauer produces California-compliant versions of popular models, such as the P320 and the P365, which are designated to meet the state's regulations and will likely remain legal for sale in California, as they are not part of the specific ban on machine gun convertible models such as Glocks.
Yeah, and I will say, Glock, I am glad that they are taking steps to make a new model that you cannot put a auto sear in.
Yeah. So Gavin Newsom didn't ban SIGs. Okay. He did ban Glock models that could be converted into automatic weapons. All right. But using a Glock switch. Right. Which,
yeah,
you can have whatever feelings you want about that, but that's not Gavin Newsom coming after your guns. That's literally just making the streets safer for human beings and people, which I think is pretty cool.
Do you think he's going to allow the new models?
I do not care.
I mean, I've figured that out from you. You seem to not really care about anything.
Sir, I am not concerned. Do people have the ability to have a gun to protect themselves at home? Yes or no?
In some places, most places, yes.
Yes, in California. Let's use that for an example. In California, does somebody have the ability to buy a gun in order to protect their homes?
If they're legally permitted, yes.
Yes. Do people have the ability to buy a weapon in order to go hunting and to provide for their family?
Depending.
Yes, the answer is yes. Do people have the ability to buy a gun in order to do things for sport, right? Do they have the ability to, to target shoot or to, or to skeet shoot or where, competition pistol shoot if they want to, whatever. Do people have the ability to do that?
Technically, no.
Yes, they do. They 100% do. Okay. And since people have the ability to do everything, sir, and since people have the ability to do everything that they could possibly, I find legally, allowed to do with a gun, right? And since people all have the ability to do all of that stuff in California, then their Second Amendment is not being violated in any way, shape, or form. And everybody else is just whining.
It's just what?
Whining.
A whining. I'd like to just white.
Yeah. Oh, I can't have this certain one that this certain company makes to do a certain thing that I don't care, sir. I really don't care. Okay? I've been
Well, if you
very
don't care,
I've been very vocal about like this on my live. I have zero problem with this. Okay, I am a concealed carry holder and a gun owner myself. Okay, like I
do you
have
believe in constitutional
Wh-
carry?
I think constitutional carry is stupid. Okay, I don't believe there is a constitutional carry, and I think that's something that's made up. Okay.
I mean, everything's made up.
Yeah, constitutional carry doesn't exist because the Second Amendment doesn't actually give you the right to constitutional carry in any way, shape, or form. They just call it constitutional carry because it sounds cool. Okay? All right? So it doesn't exist. All right? But because, okay, I'm on the left, and guess what? Almost everybody I know on the left, guess what? They mostly all own guns too. Okay? Just letting you know. Okay? Almost every single person on the left I know owns a gun. Okay?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, well, I know a lot more people on the left than you. Can we at least agree on
A
that?
lot of them do. I would say
Yeah,
a lot of them
yeah.
do.
I'm not saying every single one, sir. I'm saying the majority, sir. I'm saying the majority of them do. Oh, absolutely, they do. Okay, absolutely, they do. The majority of them do. Okay, but just
Depending on what
because,
state you live in.
sir, just because we own guns and just because we believe in the right to protect ourselves does not mean that we believe I believe that our rights overtake the ability of children living. Okay? And that's the rights problem, is that you guys, for some reason, all right, put your right to own some type of weapon over the rights of children to live, or human
And
beings to
children-
live.
but
Children is just
children
it's just a
also
small
don't have-
part, right?
But children also don't have a right to own a gun.
Right, and they also have a right not to be killed by one.
Yeah, but most of them are
And
children killing
the
children.
things, no, they're not.
Yeah.
And even
yeah.
if they are, that makes it even more right. That even makes my point even more important. The fact that we now know that people, if it's children killing children, that means that the people that own the guns shouldn't have the right to own the guns because obviously they can't take care of them in a place where they can keep them out of the hands of children. So therefore, even more gun laws are more important in the right of what guns we have, how they're protected, how they're held, and that the right people that own them, okay, the right people that people that actually own them actually know how to handle them, know how to control them, and know how to store them, correctly. Right? But we don't have any laws, or at least enough laws to actually make sure that the people that own them are sane. They know how to use them. Okay. So they don't, accidentally freaking shoot their neighbor freaking trying to protect their house. All right.
But how would you control that besides just taking them away?
No different from the way that we control the type of cars that are driven in the United States and license the people that drive them to make sure they know how to do it.
Almost everybody can get a license by going into a DMV.
Yeah. Can you get a motorcycle license?
Yeah, walking to the DMV.
Oh, really? You obviously have never ridden a motorcycle.
I have, but now I don't know what state you live in, but the test in my state is.
Oh, so you had to take a test.
Pretty.
So you had to take a test.
Intrusive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what state you live in. I live in the state of Florida, which is a red state, by the way. Right. And here.
And what do you have to do when you?
Yeah, you actually have to take an entire freaking actually in-depth class where they actually make sure that you actually know really, really how to use it, how to use that motorcycle, so you don't die. And actually, I see it in other countries where they actually have motorcycle safety laws, which are actually really crazy. So in other countries, I lived in Italy for a while. Do you know that you actually aren't allowed to own a motorcycle until you've actually ridden a motorcycle that is actually, at a lower level. So they start you out at like 50 cc's and they'll send you up to like 100 cc's and 150 and 200. And you have to have it for so many years under that cc level in order to move up to the next one. And so by the time you see these guys, and you'll see these guys on these just nasty BMW bikes, right? And they're riding these things like freaking monsters. The reason why they're so freaking good is before they were allowed to get on that, they'd been riding for freaking 30 years by the time they got there, right? And now they have the ability because through attrition, through being able to learn, they were able to have more, high-powered motorcycles. I think that's actually amazing. I think that's a great way to relate our gun laws to, right? That we should be able to.
I think you could absolutely take aspects of other testing. Absolutely.
Testing, background checks.
At all with the test.
Yeah. Testing, background checks, right? The inability to just own every single weapon immediately,
No.
right? right?
No,
Like
no.
having better
Don't
age
ever
limits,
support.
having better freaking qualifications, right? Like maybe you don't need to own an AR-15 at 18 years old when when you legally first can, right? Maybe I need to know that you're not a crazy person with a freaking 22 first.
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think that there could be certain tests that should be taken.
Yeah,
Hunter safety courses.
just saying, sir, that when I do carry my weapon, right, which I do, right, like when I do, I take that as a very huge responsibility. Okay, I take it as a very, very huge one. I know there's lots of people that do also, right, but we need to be able to weed out the people that aren't, right, the people that are allowing those kids to have the guns, that aren't taking care of their weapons safely, that that are doing the bad stuff. And right now our laws are too loose because of this idea, right, for some reason it's a right that cannot be infringed. And as soon as we get rid of that idea, we can actually get to the problem.
All right, so I have a question for you. You don't have to answer it if it feels too intrusive. Do you ever leave a firearm in the vehicle?
Generally no, but I have.
Okay, so you have. What is the biggest cause of illegal firearms in the streets that are obtained by
And
children
they're being stolen.
out of vehicles?
Yep.
That's kind of I guess you could call it a preventable cause, but let's just say, I don't know, you're carrying. you
Yeah,
gotta go
I
to
also
the
when I
bank.
leave mine in a vehicle, I leave it under double locks.
That's fine, but I promise you, a loss only
Sir,
keeps an
I'm not
honest
saying,
man
sir,
home.
someone can break into my
A
house
loss
and
only
also,
keeps an honest man
sir,
home.
sir, somebody can break into my house and do that. Someone can also break into my house and grab a car and get my car. Okay. There's always going to be one-off situations that
But
happen.
it's not. But it's not that though. That's the most common factor. It's not a one-off. It's the most common.
Then maybe we should make it illegal for you to keep your gun in your car.
Well, then I guess we got to make it legal to carry it into a damn post office or a bank.
Or just don't have it with you then.
Well, then you're leaving it at home. Somebody can steal from home.
Put it in a
You
safe.
can't stop. You can't stop a thief. If they want to steal it, they will. And I don't think we should
Mm.
penalize people who want to do well and have good intentions, because some people have been taught wrong.
Yeah, no, it's not a punishment, sir. I think that's your issue. Okay. I'm not punishing you by doing anything. Do you know what a punishment is, sir?
Yeah, I know what a punishment is.
Yeah, sending you to jail is
I
a
think- I think-
punishment.
I think-
Taking away your freedom is a punishment. Making you work for something is a punishment, right? Torturing
I
you is a
think
punishment.
taking away-
Waterboarding you is a punishment. Those are things are punishment. Telling you that you can't take your gun on your trip is not a punishment. Okay, that is just a
No,
legality.
depends
Just
on-
like me,
depends
sir. Just like me saying that
It's
it's not a.
perception.
Just like it's not a punishment for me to tell you that you can't drive 120 miles per hour on the highway.
I think it's perception.
Well, sir,
Now, do I think
is it
people should drive
punishment for
120
me
on the
telling,
highway?
sir?
No.
If is it punishment for me telling you can't drive your vehicle 120 miles per hour on the highway?
I mean, but you're going to an extreme.
No, I'm not, sir.
For,
No, I'm not, sir.
Why
Because
would- when is
again,
the punishment
putting a
for-
restriction around something is not a punishment. Okay, saying that
It's
this
literally-
cause, sir,
if
saying
you-
that
if you
this,
get caught-
sir, saying that this action causes negatives for everybody else in society, and so you can't do it, is not a punishment.
Okay, but now why don't we just use the analogy of I don't let you drive on the highway? Why does it have to be 120? Because now I'm punishing you by not letting you drive.
I'm not advocating for me not allowing you to drive, so that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Okay, but you took it to an extreme. I didn't say let's punish people by not letting them go
No,
out.
I'm
to
just
people in the
making an
street.
example
You
of
went
a
to an extreme. I didn't
restriction
have an
around
extreme
something
at
and
all.
how restrictions on something are not a punishment. I don't need to
You said
take it to an
taking a
extreme, sir.
child
Is saying that you can't
toy away
drive
is a
freaking
punishment.
45 miles per hour through a school zone or like a punishment? I don't have to take it to an extreme. I see people do that at schools all the time.
I mean, it's borderline punishment to say, hey, you live in this state, you can't have a 15-round magazine. I think it's borderline.
No, it is not. It is not a
Punishment for the
restriction.
people who
It
did
is the
that.
betterment of society around you and something that you just have to live within. Okay?
But if nobody did bad, then you wouldn't have said restriction. So yes, it is a punishment.
And if
on
nobody
people.
sped through speed zones, we wouldn't need to have, or sped through school zones, we wouldn't have to have school zone signs.
Yeah, and then that's punishable by law.
It
Literally,
is
in the
punishable by
definition,
law,
punishable.
sir, but doing
Exactly.
it is just, but sir, that doesn't mean that the law is a punishment.
punishable by law. Literally, you just said it. The law is technically punishment.
Yeah,
The
you seem to be a
outcome of
little
the law.
confused. Okay, that's fine.
No, the
Anyway, sir,
outcome
I'm
of the
bored
law.
with this conversation. Okay.
That's
Because
fair enough.
it is very, very obvious that you couldn't give a shit less about the people around you or their society or whether people are dying or whether children are dying. You just want your AR-15 and fuck them, right? Like Charlie Kirk said, right? There needs to be an acceptable amount of death every single year for the right for you to be able to bear arms. That's what Charlie Kirk said, and that's kind of the argument that you're giving right now. Is that it's not
not in the slightest.
I'm just
Not
saying
in the
that's the
slightest.
exact
Am I
same
agreeing with
argument
that
that you're giving right now, sir. Is that
Not in the slightest.
is
Am I
that
agreeing
for
with them?
some reason you think that the betterment of society and the people around you, okay, is not a necessary requirement around you for you to give up, to have restrictions around the weapons that you own or when you can hold them or own them, right? So, and I disagree with that. I am always going to side on the side of humanity. I'm always going to side on the side of life, and I'm always going to side on the side of children, and I'm never going to side on the side of guns over any of that. All right. So,
All right,
anyways,
before
I hope
we
you
end this,
have
one
a
question. Before
nope,
we end this-
nope.
before we
I've tried to
one
end this
question.
conversation like 6 times.
It's a
You keep wanting to
statistic. I
ask
want
one
you
more
to- I want you to
question,
read it out.
and
I
I
want you
don't
to
want to
read it out
hear.
loud.
Nope, I don't want to
I
hear
want you
any
to
more of
read
your
it out loud.
questions. Have a wonderful day. Okay.
Hey, chat. How many?
All right. Apparently, he was a little confused by that. Okay. Apparently, he thought that meant ask more questions. Okay. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Feisty, thanks so much for the $20. Said this cool mermaid named Arlie sent brown eggs or whole wheat. Oh, apparently Ari's just sending me all of my people. Apparently Feisty doesn't love me anymore. She just goes and hangs out with Ari, and I guess she kind of comes over if Ari tells her no later. Apparently, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. No, I'm just playing around. Thank you, Feisty. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Heathen, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Said he might get 65% of pay, but I don't think any collective bargaining contract would offer more than that. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I thought that was a little fishy, but I'm not really sure. But thank you so much, Heathen. I really, really appreciate you. June, thank you so much for the jewels. Thank you so much. I see. Oh, Long Beach. Thank you so. Long Bong. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Long Beach. Long Bong. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Daniel, thank you so much. I appreciate that. June again, thank you so much. Speaking of Mermaid, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I really, really appreciate that. Make sure you send a W out there for if you got one of those gifteds. And Eddie, thank you so much for the $5. Says, why make H substance or Coca-Cola substance illegal? Why penalize the good substance users because of the bad? That's what you know what, Eddie? I think Eddie's made the point. All right. Like, why should we make it? Why should we have any laws? Not even really important. All right, y'all. I'm going to get off for the night. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'm done for the evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful one. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.